Welcome everybody to the Sausage Boys podcast. This is your host, the South Coast Post Child, aka the mannequin from Newtown. I go by the name of Jackson Grant. And right there on the ones and twos, that's a man you know and love. He goes by the name of the Terry Crews of Sydney, aka the Steamroller. Karim Diallo. How the hell are you doing, my dude?
Ready.
Nice. And we got a very special guest here. Great comic. He goes by the name of Kiyanosh. What's up, my dude?
BBL Drizzy. How we doing, guys?
All right, guys. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different today. Not something we usually do. Oh, of course, we're here with the banter.
Yeah, scared.
But you may or may not know about one of the most historic rap beefs in recent history, or maybe in hip-hop history, full stop.
Yeah.
The beef between Kendrick Lamar and Drake Drizzy Graham.
Drake the Drizzler Graham.
That's going on
BBL
right
Drizzy.
BBL Drizzler.
So if you don't know about this beef, basically I'll give you a short history. So the
And
man
we're not talking about Kendrick Lamar's height. We're getting him. We're getting
if
him.
that's what you want, yeah.
Yeah,
Short.
He's short.
Short. Yes.
so Drake, this Canadian rapper, was anointed by a famous rapper Lil Wayne around 2009, 2010. Around that time, he put out a record called Take Care. 2011, this record came out. Massive record. He took a tour around that record all around the world. He took two rappers on that tour with him, Kendrick Lamar, an up-and-coming rapper, and A$AP Rocky, a slightly more established rapper at that time. 2012 comes around, an album comes out by Kendrick Lamar called Good Kid, Mad City, which is known by hip-hop fans as one of the greatest hip-hop records of all time.
Let's go.
And I do agree.
I do agree. Oh, okay, yeah. I want to go out and say Kendrick Lamar is my personal best rapper of all time.
Yep, nice.
I'm a massive fan of Kendrick
Yep.
Lamar. Massive fan.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah, as we
Bring it
all
out
are
there.
here.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
so
don't consider Drake a rapper, so it's a pretty even playing field. I feel like.
I don't
guys,
consider-
let me
okay,
continue
yeah,
with
yeah,
this
yeah.
history just quickly. As the years went on, 2013 comes around. Kendrick is getting a lot of props for this album. Drake is also at the top of his game, massive rapper. Kendrick jumps on a feature verse on a song with Big Sean, a song called Control, where he calls out all the biggest rappers in the game at that time. A lot of these rappers jumped on interviews and said this is great for the sport of rap. Drake jumped on an interview and said, I don't know why he has to do that. A guy that's, famous for being in his feelings, struck a chord with him, and then for years since that, fans have speculated sneak disses between these two rappers.
Yeah.
Jump to the year 2024. Kendrick, for the first time, openly attacks.
That's not... Drake starts it. If we start at first person shooter, which is before like that,
Yep.
there's so many shots at Kendrick in it.
Okay,
Sneak disses.
Not really.
What's an overt diss that was made? That
Well,
people
there's
were
a whole
what's going
thing
on
about
here?
the big three, right? It's actually very interesting if you look at first-person shooter now, because you know how Kendrick says that... Now we're really into it, just so everyone knows.
Okay, yeah.
You know how Kendrick
just
says...
quickly. Okay, so just quickly.
Yes.
Kendrick jumps on a feature verse on a song with Future, like that, and
Okay.
point blank calls out Drake and J. Cole, says fuck the big three, who the three of them were known as, and says it's not big three, it's just big me, Kendrick Lamar. From there, J. Cole puts
Just
out a
Big
diss
D,
song.
and it's video proof.
Video proof.
J. Cole puts out a diss song against Kendrick, and then apologizes for it, takes the song down. There's been 3 or 4 songs back and forth between Kendrick and Drake, and that is what we're going to be discussing today.
Yeah.
I want to also say I don't condone pinning our black men against each other.
I
think we
do,
should all
so
come
I think-
together and
I think-
unite as one.
I think it's great.
I find this is bad.
No.
Black people in general.
This
We should
is-
lift each other up.
Hip
rather
hop's
than go
cool
to war.
again, I think. All right, so
Okay.
let's start at first person shooter.
Yep.
Because if you
How about a little bit of a breakdown with your history of listening to rap hip hop?
no,
I
fuck
guess
that
like
shit. Fuck that shit.
your opinion on Drake and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay,
Because
that's
I want
fair
to make
enough.
sure that if there
Okay,
are there any
fair
bias.
Look,
opinions
my
that
opinion
may
on
be
Kendrick
here?
is the opinion that the world has right now. This guy's the GOAT. He's the greatest that we've got right now.
You think he's the greatest rapper of all time?
All time's a very subjective thing and a tough thing, but he's definitely been the best rapper we've had for a while now. And I think if anyone's in the place to contest him, it's more Cole than Drake. That's kind of been the understanding. And then Drake's more the pop, the media darling, the mainstream. He's hit the big.
He's the biggest male artist.
Drake can rap. Drake can rap.
Time.
I think everyone agrees on that.
Yep.
But even he doesn't want to do it that often, and he plays even in this diss feud. He's chosen to like still be poppy and sing and stuff instead of like rap. Whereas Kendrick's like he's making the most unmarketable music. Meet the Grahams, like ding dong, and he's just destroying it, man. So I think Drake has agreed that he's kind of taken a path in terms of he wants to be the poppier rapper and stuff. And Drake,
as he is.
J. Cole and Kendrick. Kendrick is even poppier than J. Cole, but like they rap. They're guys that rap, and they've kind of it's like an Eminem. You're not going to get certain fans because you're just a rapper.
Yeah.
Even though they're the biggest artists ever. But I think Drake can rap. I don't think Drake is... I think it's insane to even think that he could go against someone like Kendrick, to actually like wake up and be Drake and go, I can rap battle Kendrick Lamar. I think that's hilarious. I could see J. Cole thinking that. I don't understand where in his brain he thought it was possible. And then we saw the outcome. So anyway.
I will just quickly, I will say it is interesting that Kendrick has stepped up to Drake, though. If he is above all of that...
Yes, this is my take as well. I feel Kendrick is above this.
Why?
Because he, to me, is the greatest rapper of all time. He is hip-hop. Drake is hip-hop. I find they're almost in very, very different genres. I consider Kendrick Lamar the greatest rapper of all time. I've said in the past, I don't put Drake in my top 50.
You shouldn't.
Favorite rappers of all, greatest rappers of all time. Yeah, that's me personally. Yet, I'm still someone who feels that Drake won this beef.
Let's not get crazy right now. What you're saying is pretty much a hate crime at this point. So let's justify it first. You got your notes, very adorable.
I
His notes say free Drake, which is crazy. Allegations haven't even been proven yet.
Well, I'd like to go. Do you have some opening statements?
But what you just said, actually, can we just get to what you just said, where you said Kendrick is above this?
Yes,
right?
I thought he was above this.
He is above this. What he's not above is Drake specifically. This guy who's like thinks he's at the top and is, again, if we break this beef down, he starts poking at Kendrick. Genuinely, because he does the first-person shooter, and if you listen to Euphoria, he says that Drake asked him for a feature. They wanted to work together, and then it came out that they wanted the first-person shooter to be the big three. They wanted to be them three.
Oh, okay, wow.
J. Cole thought it was them three, like it was gonna be them three, and then it became just being them two. And if you listen to the verses, J. Cole's verses are him going like, "The big three, it's me, Kendrick, and Drake," and all Drake's verses are like all these weird shots at Kendrick. You can call them subtle jabs.
What are some of the shots? Because I didn't pick up on any of that.
I can pull them up. I was listening to it on the way here.
Getting your notes out.
Okay, good.
So many.
You've done your research. It's good. I'm liking it.
Because I was, re-listening to the whole thing from First Person Shooter now.
I did the
same
thing.
It's like a movie where you know at the ending, like, because Drake's bullying him at the beginning. He's like, "Oh, well, you scared he gets AI Tupac and stuff," and you're
100%.
like, "I know the ending of this movie. Like, does this guy know that this guy's gonna burn his family down and bring out all this stuff?" Like, it's crazy re-listening to it. And First Person Shooter is like J. Cole just going, "Right, guys, three of us, we're all good," and Drake's like, "Fucking Kendrick, you'll never be with us.
What
you'll
is
never
he
be
saying?
with the I'll show you. It's insane."
I thought it was crazy Drake starting this beef in general. I was like, what's this guy doing? I was bored. I saw straight through it. I was like, okay, this is so like overtly like orchestrated. I know exactly what's going on here. I can see straight through this thing. It's like, hey, let's make money together. I'm going to do a beef. We're both going to get eyes on us. It's just going to help both of our careers. I wasn't a fan of the beef. Even after I was like, this is so boring. Just put out good music. I don't want to.
You didn't like the beef while it was happening?
When it started, I was thinking this is so like boring.
Meaning now or like back in the day?
Back then when it started.
Oh no,
right.
3 weeks ago or something. I brought it up to Kareem.
You brought it up, and I was like, this is so boring. There are no stakes here. These people don't hate each other. This is so contrived. There's just nothing to grab onto here. The Drake versus Pusha T beef. Now that was great. It began back then. I was like, that was the greatest rap battle in history for me. I was like, this was just, everyone was at the edge of their seat.
Yes.
It was so much fun. It was unlike
that one
anything
was
I'd
really
ever
fun.
seen
Seeing
before.
Drake get knocked down is fantastic, dude. It should happen every few
and
years.
He got destroyed.
It should happen every
like,
few years.
Like
it's like the Super.
T.
It's like what's it called? The World Cup. You know, every 4 years we should watch Drake just get fucking bullied by the industry.
Pusha T is like hip hop. He's raw hip hop. Most
he
people,
is. Him and Kendrick, though, I mean, their track together is insane.
Which one are you talking about?
Fucking
Poetic Justice.
Nostalgia.
No, Pusha T and Kendrick.
Is that Nostalgia?
Nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, like Kendrick raps on that thing.
Oh, yeah,
Kendrick,
it's
every
great.
time he features with someone who raps, goes, I can do what you do. Like, he's, even in this beef, he's pulled up. He's actually showed up to every occasion and not really let us down.
Yeah.
In a very impressive manner. Where, like, someone like Drake.
I didn't think he was going to show up. Drake's been in beefs.
But he's not showing, like, you know, Pusha T. He had to just be like,
Pusha
kind of like
T-
this. Pusha T and
T
this.
was
He's
literally
both having
David
to
versus-
go,
Pusha T was David
this is
versus
done,
Goliath.
right, guys? You
Literally.
reckon? It shouldn't have been, though.
was a
Drake
million
should have been able...
percent.
Dude, no one knew who Pusha T was compared to
Yeah, that's
Drake.
what I mean.
Like, Kendrick and
Pusha
Drake
T,
are a lot
Pusha
closer.
T was David. Drake was literally Goliath. It was
Him
like,
having
what
Kanye
is
was
going
huge.
on here?
Yeah, yeah.
Pusha T kind of took it upon himself to be like, I'm going to take on this guy. Everyone's like, what?
And also,
This
Pusha,
Kendrick one is like, no, there's no way Drake's going to beat Kendrick Lamar in a diss, da-da-da-da-da. It was pretty even going into it. People were like, these are two... Kendrick is the greatest rapper of all time. It's like, you don't want to diss him.
Also, Drake adopted the beef from Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne versus Pusha. Which is the
yes.
sickest thing in
Yeah.
the world. Drake just takes shit on his back, which is pretty sick. I don't know
Pusha
if-
T also destroyed Lil Wayne in that beef. Destroyed him. He was like the devil. He is just a monster.
Yes.
Pusha T, here we go, for the other beef, it wasn't even a question.
This was the same, bro.
No, it
Are you-
wasn't. No, this wasn't.
Who knows and listens to hip hop was like Drake versus Kendrick. Ooh, this will be a tough lyrical battle. Drake, who famously doesn't even write his own stuff, and then Kendrick, who is so masterful, he doesn't come out unless he wants to or
100%,
needs to.
and yet
and
Drake
orchestrates,
won, which is awkward.
Brother,
Is a
let's
Kendrick
not
Lamar
get anyway.
fan?
So
Okay,
let's
so
start
what-
at first-person shooter,
Yep,
right?
yep. What has
He's got
Drake
all these
said in
lines that if you
first-person
listen
shooter?
to that are so funny, the way that they're brought on now, because he's got a couple strays at Kendrick where he's like, who you guys really rooting for? That's one of his whole things. So who are we rooting for? I'm the GOAT. I'm Michael and all this stuff. That's when he starts the whole Michael Prince thing. And then Kendrick returns it with like that by being like, Prince outlived Michael.
Yeah.
And he's got all these things where it's like, who you guys rooting for? I'm for the call. And all of it turns out now to be like, Kendrick. The answer to these questions are Kendrick. Everyone has agreed.
What are the shots
Prince is
that he...
not better than Michael.
No, I'm not saying that. When he
No, but this
like
is-
when
it's
Drake
also
has lines
funny.
like, who are you guys rooting for?
It's also
Who do you
very-
guys
it's a
want to
great-
win?
It's a great...
Out of the big three and
it's
out of
a
this,
great
who's the
similarity.
GOAT? Who's the
Okay.
GOAT? Who you bitches really rooting for? And the answer's like,
Drake.
Kendrick. Right now, the culture thinks Drake. Are you serious?
Women aren't listening
Drake has
to
the
Kendrick
most
Lamar.
disliked. You know, Drake has the most disliked video on YouTube right now,
Yeah.
which is the
I've
Hard
seen
Part
that, yeah.
6. I don't think the culture's with Drake right now.
Kendrick
bro.
fans are... Okay, actually,
It's not
I'm the
Kendrick fans.
adjudicator.
I'm not talking
I'm
about Kendrick fans.
Yep.
Just people who are part of this. Everyone's
Kendrick
going, Drake's looking
Lamar
pretty bad right now.
fans
Kendrick's
have
looking pretty good.
Severe mental illness.
No, I'm not
They
talking
are
Kendrick
deeply
fans.
disturbed
If you're talking
people.
stands of Kendrick and
They are
Drake stands,
deeply
and these are just
disturbed
people who
Drake fans, you know what they're doing right now? They're probably surfing. They're probably having sex with women.
texting
They're
Millie
probably
Bobby
having
Brown.
parties.
Yeah, for sure.
They're living life like normal people. Kendrick fans are literally in their basement, still obsessing over this beef. and probably will
Anyway,
be for
let's
the
not get into the
forthcoming
fans.
months.
Let's not even get into the fans.
Okay, but it does mean something. Because we've also... Okay, do you want to talk about how this even started between us?
I'll allow it.
What was it? We got to a comedy show.
You said you love
We're all
Drake.
we're all
and I
hip hop
laughed.
heads.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, what's going on with this beef? And I was like, yeah, Drake won.
I mean, just hearing
Jaws around the room. Jaws around the room were all on the floor.
Yes, hearing it is
My
still hard.
own weird.
But when you
Okay.
said that,
Yeah.
I don't think Not Like Us was out yet.
No, it was. It was over.
No, I don't think so. Oh yeah, you're right.
It was
You're right.
over.
You're right. It was.
I think it was literally
I was
over.
playing when you walked in. I was playing Not Like Us.
It was this
all right,
time last
so let's
week,
start
actually,
it at
yeah.
first-person shooter.
Yep.
He's chucking
Okay, yeah,
these
keep
ones.
going,
He's
yeah.
chucking subtle jabs. It's just this. I'm Mike. Who's the GOAT? Who are we rooting for? And those might not seem like jabs, but when we know that he specifically asked for Kendrick to be on it, Kendrick said no. And then he's got things going. Who is the GOAT? Who's the greatest? Who are we rooting for? Who's the culture? Kendrick hears that and goes, there we go. So then on Like That, he responds. That's a clear right back at Drake. There's all these shots that are like, for all the dogs, for all the... There's not even a question. These are at Drake.
Yeah, 100%.
And very interesting to know, in Like That, doesn't go at Cole once. Not a single thing at Cole besides going, it's just Big Me. He doesn't jab Cole specifically because Cole doesn't jab him in first-person shooter.
Yeah.
It's just friendly stuff at this point. Completely. And then push-ups is where it starts to get
Yes.
a beef.
Awkward. And I
Let's
was
talk
like, what's
about
going-
let's
why is
talk
he
about
doing
all
this?
of Drake's mistakes because I want to really spell them out for you before like first person shooter before he starts even
I've
poking
got
at Kendrick.
Kendrick's mistakes
Please, brother,
as well
please.
to literally spell out
Push-ups.
as well,
One
but
of the
let's hear it.
bitch
Yeah.
moves is leaking it. I don't know if you guys can. That's the bitchest shit because he knows that the Cole reaction came out terrible response from hip hop
Yes.
to the point where he had to apologize.
Yeah.
So he leaks this push-up stuff. It starts going out. Then when he hears people are kind of into it, gives DJ Academics the real version. So he's obviously like on streams just watching people going, they like the shit. Gives him the real version, leaks it.
Also very hip hop to leak it.
Very hip, but very like, I'm scared of this man.
I would see it as more hip hop. It's not like
Nah, you'd release
hey
it.
guys,
Brother,
I have this beef
as Drake,
this track coming
as
out.
Drake, if you're releasing push-ups, which is like a club banger, he's trying to get everyone, and is a diss. You'll put that on DSPs to show Kendrick, brother, I'm gonna make this shit a hit. You wouldn't leak it.
It's not
that's
an
a
overt.
fear, bro.
It's not
that's
an overt like
that's
we're
fear.
starting a war.
That's fear.
This is on Spotify.
No,
hey,
no,
there's
no.
my new Kendrick.
That's you
this
not
year.
knowing if this shit's gonna hit for the culture,
think
and then
it's-
when it does, when it
for the
cements
hip-hop
itself, and
fans.
everyone listens to push-ups and went, this is actually pretty good, bro. I liked. This is the part of the beef where Drake is winning. The only time where Drake's winning. When he's released push-ups and there's no response from Kendrick and all Kendrick fans going like,
I'm
what the fuck's
opposite.
going on?
I actually thought he was losing then.
Why?
I was like, this is such a lame thing for you to do, to try to bait this guy into like
He's
a
not baiting.
rap
He's
beef.
responding. Like that was a jab. Like that was the first,
I saw
bro.
it as something where it's like you can just go on with your
Yeah,
life.
of course,
It's
of
not
course. That's
so
when
in your
Drake should do.
face.
That's when Drake should have just went to his vacation
I
and
saw
said,
it as a bad move to even start the beef.
I agree, brother.
Yes.
Why would Drake want to? It's Kendrick.
It's
Like,
a
I
guy
don't know. I
who's
still don't
trying to,
understand
again,
why he would think
Remain
he's
relevant.
in a world that he can. It's kind of like me being like, I'm gonna fight Mike Tyson tomorrow, by the way, and you guys going, yeah, it might be good. Why would that be good, bro? I'm gonna get the shit kicked out.
You're
of
gonna
me.
get clicks.
And
You're
it's
gonna get
also
engaged.
No,
not-
of course,
it's
but,
also not
but I'm
like
like,
that,
oh, but
man.
I got more TikTok followers than Mike Tyson. That might be true. We're fighting here.
No, this
like
is
we're
more
fighting, and that's Mike Tyson.
This is more like Jake Paul versus like a 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Because you have someone who is like
I
the
don't know,
biggest
but that's,
name in the
that's
world.
what people think. Kendrick, they think he's a 60-year-old. Just because he's not out there doesn't mean he's not fucking out there in terms of the
last album
sport
was
of rap.
almost his best. I would probably say.
But his pen game, I don't understand why you would ever go like, oh, he's sleeping, he's going to take too long. Like, this is Kendrick.
Miss Morale was probably his
He's
best album.
so meticulous, and he's so
Yeah.
everything is calculated with this guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't do shit. Drake just does shit.
He's at the
Drake
top of his
releases
game.
albums every year. Some of them
Yeah.
hit, some of them don't. Drake's a very prolific guy.
Yeah.
But Kendrick is like, I'm calculating everything. So Drake's first mistake is doing push-ups, which is great. He's in front in terms of the view. But doing push-ups and thinking, oh, Kendrick might not even respond. And if he does, he'll have a song. Then I'll really have him. Is not thinking Kendrick is in a lab right now, like putting chemicals together and like creating Drake fucking.
Oh, he kind
puns.
of is. Later
He-
on, he's like,
No,
oh,
but
you
when
bet- you bet
push-ups
you're in
come,
that New
when
York.
Drake follows push-ups
penthouse,
up with
whatever.
Tailor Made, that's him going, I got something if you got something.
Yeah.
You got nothing. I'm gonna taunt you with your dead hero.
Yes.
And then Snoop Dogg, which first of all, why does the Snoop Dogg deepfake sound worse than the Tupac one? He's alive. You could have like got Snoop Dogg.
I will say this: when Tailor Made came out, I was like,
I love Tailor Made, by the way.
I will
Okay.
say,
Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
Good,
nice,
that's
yeah.
not conceding.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think, dude, the thing is, Drake.
Let me say this
Go,
about
go.
Tailor Made. I was like
So
hearing
dumb.
Drake rap in Tupac's voice, and
Yeah.
I love fucking Drake.
Yes.
I do just as much as well, yeah, both equally.
Yep.
They're my sons. But hearing Tupac rap the way Drake raps almost gave credibility to how good of a rapper Drake is.
Yep.
It's like his voice is synonymous with this pop sound, and hearing it through these hip hop legends was like,
It was very cool.
yeah, I was like, dang, this is pretty sick.
I wouldn't
Like,
go this
It
far.
kind of
but
got me.
it's-
I was so bored. I
That
was
was
literally
funny.
like, oh, what's this? And I was like, oh. I kind of smiled a little bit. I was like, this is cool. And I was still like, what is he? What
I
is
liked it.
This
again.
is still orchestrated.
Great.
I hate how orchestrated it is.
No.
I still enjoyed the track.
It's got to be orchestrated for versing Kendrick. That's the only time he went right. The mistake is doing that and going, if he responds, I got one in the chamber. Not knowing Kendrick's probably cooking an album of Drake disses. Like, you should
He's
know
thinking that.
I don't think
He
so.
should be.
I don't
I think
think
he
any
is.
part of him thought when he dropped Family Matters that Kendrick was going to do that shit. The whole drop 20 minutes later. No part of Drake or any of his camp or like, Kendrick's going to do a 6-minute song addressing the whole... I don't think that was going to happen.
Because the first one
let's-
flopped.
Let's go back to
Yeah.
Tailor Made.
Okay, yeah.
When he's doing Tailor Made, I actually think he's so ahead. I, as a Kendrick fan, was like, what the fuck, Kendrick? Respond. This is like, he's bullying you. Drake is bullying you. Like,
I
what?
kind of liked him not responding as well. I was
Kendrick?
kind of like, yeah, he's...
I knew
You're
in the
literally
back of my
going
head
against
he's
a-
cooking crazy shit
I was
up.
like, you're going against a guy who actually cares about hip-hop and rap and art and making a good project.
no, but you're not
He's
going to let this
gonna
guy push
engage.
you around like this, bro. Bring Tupac in
I
and then
would
going,
still
nah, you're
say-
following through, nah.
I was still saying
He
as
was
like a
bullying
Kendrick
him
fan,
so
you should
hard.
be above this. And it's a powerful move to be like, I
No, no,
literally don't even
No, fuck
want
that,
to go
fuck
down
that.
this path.
As a Kendrick fan, you
I've
don't
got
want to
better
see
things to
fucking
do.
pissy ass Drake shitting on you.
Just come out with good music.
No,
amazing
fuck that.
rap music.
Drake is coming
loses.
at you, who's like arguably the greatest rapper of our generation, arguably the greatest rapper of all time. Drake, who isn't even in any of our top anythings, is bullying Kendrick.
He's
like
the biggest pop artist of all
even
time.
as Kendrick,
Going
you don't even have to have ego to go, let me teach this guy a little bit of humility. And this is the part where Drake kept going wrong. He kept making funny hip-hop jabs. Like the AI Tupac, the AI Snoop, the Free the Slaves line in Family Matters. So much stuff where, like, as a guy who's likes comedy, I'm like, this is funny as hell. This is great.
Drake's been funny throughout.
Culturally, these are the biggest L's you could take. Because Kendrick's going to spin. Are you serious? Culturally, using AI Tupac, doing the Free the Slaves thing, Kendrick be like, yeah, bro, you use the whole culture. What are you talking about? You're a colonizer. He made it like so easy for this guy to not take it as a joke. Kendrick's like, this isn't funny to me, bro. You're a vulture.
Kendrick has autism.
Drake is... yes. That's true. And Drake's like the goofy guy. Drake's the school clown.
Understand humor.
Drake is the school clown going, right, guys? And Kendrick's going, your family. You and your parents. And Drake's like, wait, what? It's not funny to Kendrick. That's like where this went wrong.
Yeah.
Drake was doing goofs and gaffs going like, ooh, what are you going to release a song, brother? And then Kendrick did Euphoria.
Yeah.
And Drake's like, well, I can recover from this.
Very Kendrick,
if you listen
very
to Euphoria,
on brand.
Dude, all of Euphoria is going, let's just leave it at this, bro. You brought up some family stuff. Let's not go further than this. That's his ending. Is like, if you're taking it here, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do. His whole thing is, I'm going to poke at you. I'm going to go really hard at Euphoria. But there's nothing crazy in Euphoria, dude.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
There's nothing crazy in Euphoria.
It's like, hey, I'm going to
tells us what we know.
Yeah.
Drake's a culture vulture.
Yeah.
Drake does the whole accent stuff, and he's not real. And he's saying all of these are breadcrumbs. He says it all in Euphoria, dude. Euphoria is him spelling out how the beef's going to go if Drake wants to do it.
Yeah. Does he drop the Crody line in Euphoria? Yeah. Okay.
So it's not, but that's all harmless. Everyone knows this,
great,
dude. None of this is crazy.
Also, Drake... no one takes Drake seriously. Drake is a walking meme.
It was fun.
So everything
Euphoria was
like,
when it was still fun.
Like,
whoa,
okay,
Kendrick
fun,
replied. Like, whoa. And he says in Euphoria so many times, this is, we're sparring. But don't bring the family in. That's the thing, is don't bring the family in.
Oh, but that's like being like, all right, guys, everyone can make fun of me, but no one make fun of my new shoes.
No. He's not saying don't make fun of my new shoes. He's saying if you make fun of my new shoes, I'm going to shoot the school up. That's what Kendrick's saying. And he shot the school up.
Yeah, Kendrick.
And the school, he just waited till just Drake was there. That's like what... He's not saying don't do it. He's saying if you do it, bro, I'm shooting bullets at everything. I'm going to sit the family down. I'm going to call you a pedophile. I'm going to make a club banger. I'm going to do things that you weren't able to do in this beef. I'm going to do it all. Or we can leave it at Euphoria. You know what I mean? We can just keep jabbing each other. We obviously don't like each other. Euphoria spelt that out. Kendrick doesn't fucking like this guy as a guy.
Yep.
Drake's playing around. Drake's kind of like, oh, this Kendrick guy, I'm the best. Kendrick's going to have despised you for a long time. I've been sitting in rooms just silently despising you.
Also, 2 weeks.
I don't like your character.
It was 2 weeks. Was it 2 weeks?
17 days, I believe.
17
was the
days.
whole thing.
Yeah, so it was a long time.
This guy cooked an album. It's like back then we're going, oh, you need a song in 7 days. He made 4 songs. He's got like 9 more he doesn't want to release. Like,
how do you know that?
Well, Meet the Grahams obviously wasn't made. Like, that was cooked, obviously.
Yeah. But
616 in LA was cooked.
Where's the 9 other songs?
Oh, how do I know that he made that?
Yeah. That's how Drake ends it. He's like, you've got 9 other songs
You hear from his
at the
camp
end.
and you hear from Kendrick that he's got a bunch. If you know Kendrick, you know that when he makes albums, he makes like all these songs. Half of them might be horrible, by the way.
Yeah, there wasn't a good song to defend.
I'm not saying, these are good songs, by the way. I'm just saying he makes fucking music. He definitely has a Drake folder, and there's a lot of things in there. And
how come he hasn't addressed the allegations?
Well, we're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that. I know, for a guy who has all these songs,
Euphoria, we'll get into the allegations.
Really,
at Euphoria, at base level,
allegations.
It's still fun.
Yeah.
It's not that serious. I don't think it's gotten that serious. I don't think it's gotten that crazy.
Yeah.
Do you reckon, like, allegations-wise, or...
It started a beef. It's ignited the beef.
Kendrick fucking hates the guy.
Like,
Kendrick fucking hates the guy.
There's a beef going on.
Did you guys hate Euphoria? What was the reaction of Euphoria?
I was like, oh, we're doing a beef.
You loved Euphoria?
Yeah.
You loved Euphoria? You hated it?
I was kind of like,
Euphoria's my least favorite of the Kendrick songs, by the way.
I was kind of, okay, we're doing a beef.
My least favorite.
I'm still like on the sidelines, like I hate this thing. I don't like it.
The beef or the song?
The beef in general.
That's
the song Euphoria was very much just on brand. It was nice that he was so on brand.
Do you agree that Drake started this beef, or you don't agree on that?
I agree that Drake started this beef.
And do you agree that he forfeited the beef, or you don't agree that it's a forfeit?
No, I personally think that Drake ended the beef being like, there's nothing else to say, I kind of won. And he literally was like,
oh, so that's the angle. Of course. He rolled the credits at the end. You believe that's like, that was your reaction?
That's how, when I listened to it earlier today, I will admit, there was a point around halfway through. I was
it
like,
the 15th time he said I'm not a predator and a pedophile? Was that when you were like, he's a bit defensive in this song?
I think he said it maybe once.
No, do you want to listen? There's so many, bro. It's insane how many times he brings it up. And he brings up specifics. He's like, I didn't text Millie Bobby Brown. It's like, we never said you did.
I was re-listening.
He brings up really specific
at
stuff.
A point
His
I was
ending
like,
is, I'm not a...
I
would have
like,
been a
dang,
competitor if I wasn't a
did
predator.
I listen to this thing wrong?
You did,
There was a point I was like, dang, Kendrick may have won this. And when I finished it, this was like 2 hours ago, I was like, damn, Drake wins. This is awkward.
Because of his bravado?
No, because of just everything that was put down on paper.
But what did he
Kendrick
put down?
wasn't able... I don't want to look at my notes
You
yet.
can if you want. If you
if
think about all the allegations Kendrick put out and all the allegations Drake put out, Kendrick's put out a bunch of stuff that is objectively true. I'm not saying opinion stuff, like the culture stuff, right?
Oh, I'm saying stuff that's already been known. That's been known.
But and stuff like, why do you keep sex offenders around you and stuff? That's known, you're saying?
Yeah, that's known.
Yeah, of course. But he's bringing it to a public eye and he's using it against Drake in a certain way, right?
Yep.
The only things that Drake...
I like Buckenock,
the only
not
things,
nice, but
the only things that Drake uses on Kendrick are the two allegations, right? Does he use... you're short, obviously he calls him short.
Yeah, he calls him a fake activist. He's like, you don't see your kids. He's saying that you beat your wife.
The fake activist is from his own albums.
And one of your kids aren't yours.
Yeah, so those ones. So one of your kids aren't yours.
And you don't like black women, you love white women.
No, that's again from Kendrick's music.
Yeah, but this is also a thing. He's kind of like resurfacing this pretty significant thing. Kendrick's
not really, because
like, I've got some flaws, but
that's actually
Drake's presenting it in a way of like, dude, you just love white women. This isn't like
that's Drake misunderstanding the whole you can't say the N-word thing. Kendrick's saying you can't say the N-word, and Drake's like, but I'm half, your wife's half. And he's like, dude, I'm not talking about mixed race at all. I'm talking culturally. Culturally, you're a white man who's stealing from black culture. And in every way,
also
you're stealing
Kendrick
from black
Lamar
culture.
is a guy who's meant to be like this activist. And Drake basically
he's spoken on his own albums about this, about how I should be an activist. I cheated on my wife, and my wife told me I had a problem. Like, this is from Kendrick's last album.
Why are you obsessed with white women?
Kendrick is acknowledged this and told us this.
Kendrick
being flawed
in the way of like
Kendrick being flawed isn't really a diss the same way.
What if Drake put out an album and it's like a really conscious album
about pedophile?
Like, yeah, and he's like, I like them young. I know it's a problem.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They're not pics. You was even bad there.
Kendrick's ones are like, wow, Kendrick's a human. Like Kendrick not having one of his kids not being his and being one of his managers. I don't understand how that's a.
Not seeing them for 6 months.
But if anyone has a heart, they understand that this is like real family shit that something's gone through. It's not like a villainous...
Oh, it kind of is.
One of your kids not being yours? How's that even your fault?
You're a flawed human being if you're not able to see your kids for 6 months and you're meant to be this like prophetic... That's
a pretty wild thing to...
I'm talking about, hey, you didn't get to raise your kids. I'm here
hold on,
teaching
actually,
them to
let's
pray.
do this. Are we going by the thing that all the allegations are true or all of them are false? Because either way, Drake loses, but which one? Because if these are all true, if these are true, then the Drake ones that are true are like we shouldn't even talk. He's a pedophile. Like that's crazy. So I don't think we should just go. They're all lies, right? Because if they're true, it's all, like
yeah.
If the allegations are all true, Kendrick is a terrible person because of what he does to his family members. Drake has like sex. It's not even on the same level of crime. Like.
No, okay,
no,
here we go.
Come on, let's not get into this.
Here we go. What I would say, if the allegations, let's say, of Drake are true, and there's actual proof, girls are like, yeah, no, he did this to me. Let's say 2 girls come out, even 1 girl comes out and be like, yeah, Drake actually sexually assaulted me when I was 15. It's not even a question.
I don't think we should say any of these are being true in terms of allegations, because nothing is true right now.
Oh, it's looking on paper. Kendrick hasn't denied that he beats his wife.
That's not how laws work, bro.
Oh, I'm just saying...
You didn't say you didn't do it, so you did it?
On paper, in the beef...
On paper, he has brought it up. On paper, he has brought it up.
We're talking about the
beef. On paper, he has brought it up. He acknowledges it in 2 songs.
The things that were brought up in the beef...
Kendrick, he acknowledges the Family Matter stuff.
What does he say?
He says, Family Matter, the truth of the matter, there's God's plan to show you who the liar was. He's saying none of this is true.
He's not talking about beating his wife.
Why would he specifically do that? Think about it. Like, genuinely think about
it. It's a bar. It's just a bar.
I don't get it. Like, why? Think about it from an actual,
easy way to
like
pivot.
A human, psychological, and then a tactical point of view. Drake's confessing for 3 minutes on the Heart Part 6 saying, I ain't touched people.
He's like, literally, I just haven't.
Doesn't look good.
The stuff that you...
But do you understand that Drake's defenses for it are horrific? He goes, brother, I'm too famous. I would have been caught. What? There
Well,
are
there's literally something to that, though.
Diddy, Epstein, the most famous. This famously, the last 10 years has been uncovering famous rings of pedophilia.
They've been
and
caught.
because
They are getting caught.
You
but
are
who
a
hasn't
prolific,
been? What are you talking about?
You're a prolific
They've been
rapper.
caught, and they've been going on for 40, 50 years. Drake going, brother, would have been caught by now. The week Diddy is getting caught, he's like, bro, what are you talking
Shit,
about?
I'm really upset because I just realized we are the Joe Budden podcast.
You are, yeah,
and
yeah.
I hate that guy.
You were the
so
worst.
much.
You were the worst. Like, that is the worst excuse for this shit ever. Just going,
Oh,
this
but
is
it's just
this
true.
is
There's
horrific.
there's
Why
no
would I
dirt.
do
I
it?
haven't been caught. There's literally no evidence
That's
out there.
not a good thing to say.
No,
I'm not a
he's
pedophile
literally
because I
defending
haven't
himself.
been caught.
Yeah, I haven't. Literally, that's a really nice way to
Also,
defend
Drake
yourself.
not acknowledging in any way the stuff about him enabling and helping and supporting known sex offenders and stuff. He doesn't even bring that up.
We're
And
talking
that's-
about
those are
if
facts.
If
Those
your
are true
bodyguard,
facts.
If your bodyguard has like a history of sex trafficking or being a pimp,
Human trafficking.
yeah,
bro.
human trafficking, being a
Human
pimp,
trafficking.
being a pimp.
Yes.
Literally, we're talking about.
And you have
we're talking
lines
about
and
people
lyrics,
who are in like
and you
criminal
pay these
communities.
people. Yes, and you
Yeah.
fund and pay these people.
If you look into any of the
doesn't
background of
look
like
good, bro.
security guards, you're gonna find
They're
some
all
dirt.
human trafficking.
No, you're
brother.
gonna find some dirt.
No.
You're literally gonna find.
That's a
if
terrible.
you're dealing with goons, if you're dealing with like.
But these
people
aren't even
from
these aren't
street-
even the opinions. These are real things.
Oh no, of course. But we're
So
talking
Drake
about, like,
is
this
aiding
isn't
and abetting
Drake.
sort of
This isn't
these-
Drake. This is like, oh, my security guard had this, da 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 da.
I can.
Versus.
You're saying every rapper has this? No.
Oh, security guards, people who
I'm
were
not saying security guards. His
associated
small
with
circle. His small circle is a lot of known sex offenders.
The Buck and Not Nice thing
Is amazing.
his security guard.
Fuck, I got some weird case. Why is he around?
he does.
I love a boy certified pedophiles.
Buck
I
is a
mean,
pimp.
making that.
used to be cool back in
making
the day,
that a
I'm
hit
sorry.
Lyric is sorry.
That used to be cool back in the day. I'm sorry.
Yeah, true. This was the 90s.
I'm
That'd be
sorry.
the only thing
This
Drake had
used to be
going
cool.
for him is the Buck or
Literally.
the pimp.
This used to be cool back in the day.
Anyway, the allegations back in the day were the brags.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are fucking young. Anyway, so Drake, where are we at? Euphoria, still friendly. Drake does Family Matters.
Yeah.
That's when it gets to the ugly stuff. That's when it starts getting to bullying.
Yep.
100%.
Drake, throughout this, always makes the mistake, I don't know if you guys agree, of always making it hip-hop and fun and cool and bops and, oh, this shit's going to hit. Push-ups, drop and give me 50.
He's making it cool.
Drop,
He makes it cool.
drop.
Yeah.
And
Accessible.
Drake never once, he doesn't have a single song in the whole disc that just acknowledges Kendrick. Do you guys realize this? Besides the AI one, which is crazy.
I think it's good because he's
Family-
literally
Why?
going against a bunch
Brother,
of people.
you're fighting the guy.
But you're also fighting Rick Ross.
No,
also
you're
fighting
not. You're not. Those aren't the same
It's a
battles.
nice
Those
little
aren't the
thing to
same
be
battles,
like,
bro. Rick, but when you're fucking getting annihilated,
I will say,
why
Family
would you
Matters,
do that when you're getting annihilated?
Family Matters is like 3 songs put together.
After
And the first
Euphoria,
part of-
after Euphoria, brother, you should stick to Kendrick.
But
You should
just
do Kendrick.
quickly, the first part of the video is the fucking. It's not the actual van, but the van getting crushed, which looks so sick. It's a very cool thing to do. And also the second part
It's
of
not
We
the
Don't-
actual van.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay.
The
Dang.
second part
That's not
of
cool.
part of that album, We Don't Trust You, came out, and that's when The Weeknd, ASAP Rocky, Da 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 came on it. So that was fresh when Drake was talking about that. So maybe that's why he put some bars towards that.
They don't matter right now. Dude, after Euphoria comes out, you either don't respond to Kendrick or you just respond to Kendrick. Kendrick's starting to break down your character and your person and your being beyond the rap shit, dude. Kendrick's starting to say, like, I got things you don't want to mess with. It's crazy to do something like Family Matters and have lines of Rick Ross. Who no one is worried about Drake and Rick Ross right now.
It is.
In
People-
this moment in the
know
beef.
that it's Drake.
People know
Everyone's
what's happening.
like it's the whole
no one's
Avengers
like, I hope
thing. It's like he's
ASAP
Thanos.
Rocky he gets put down. No one is. Everyone goes, how's he going to deal with Kendrick? And
The
even,
memes are all like looking at, oh, Drake's Thanos. He's going against the industry. That's how the memes.
That's how Drake
That's
saw
what-
it.
that's
But
what
I'm saying
Twitter was
it's
saying.
when it started getting ugly though with Kendrick. Like when Kendrick did Euphoria, and we didn't even bring up 616. So he does Euphoria, and then he does what Drake does, taunts in the same way, back to back. References in Euphoria, back to back. I like that record. I'm gonna get back to that for the record. Gets back to it, back to back. 616 is again Kendrick going. You got some moles. You got some people in your circle that we're gonna expose. Let's not do this though. I don't think we should do this.
100%.
But this is what is going to happen, right? The next morning, I believe Drake releases Family Matters. Family Matters has like push-ups, has like a teaser to the drop thing.
He comes back to it.
See,
Yeah.
I think starting a diss with drop. I've been trying to keep it PG.
He's keeping it fun.
Singing.
He's keeping it fun.
It's no time to keep it fun. If you're going to respond to Kendrick, bro, he's telling you, if you do this, this is it. This is war, brother.
Right. He still kept it fun. I enjoyed it.
I don't know why, though.
I'm seeing the Good Kid, Mad City van. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
There's like
Keeping
a
it
fun
fun and
song
goofy.
going.
You're trying to get
I'm
the
like,
slaves
what's
free.
going
These are
on?
funny
This
lines.
is insane.
But culturally,
this is
he's
just
making.
cool. This is really cool to watch.
But culturally,
It's
he's
like
making
gonna
every
destroy this
mistake
guy
ever
with
if you
a
think about it in
pop track.
hindsight. Even destroying the Good Kid, Mad City van, he's destroying the culture, which is what Kendrick is saying. He's like, you literally take and destroy culture. And he's like, yeah, like the Good Kid, Mad City van. He goes, yeah, one of the most iconic hip-hop albums of the last decade. You are ruining it. The Atlanta sound and all that, you are ruining it. The culture and everything else, you are ruining it. You use people. Who is coming up to defend you right now?
Everyone's known that he uses people.
No. But in terms of
he's
Drake,
literally the culture.
No,
vulture.
I'm saying Drake is doing things that is further reinforcing it, like destroying the Good Kid, Mad City van and doing the slaves freed line.
Yeah.
Those are both huge mistakes.
The Slaves 3 one was crazy.
Yeah. It's funny to us, kind of as people watching and going, "Oh, it's a hip hop beef." He's Kendrick is a very woke guy, and as a Kendrick fan, dude, that was hilarious because Kendrick's always trying to make a point.
It's kind of funny.
He
It's
doesn't
very
really
edgy
do weird
and
ones.
it's quite
edgy,
insensitive.
But when you've just been told that you're basically white, you shouldn't even be allowed to say the N-word. You're saying it, and then you're making fun of Kendrick for this. It's so easy to
It's pretty
to
based,
just
though.
put a mirror
It's
on
kind of
you.
based.
It's not looking good
pretty
for him. That's
cool.
all I'm saying. It's not looking good for him right now in real time, like where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Back then it was funny as hell, but Kendrick just had to like put the mirror on him and be like, bro, you use all these people and none of them are here to defend you right now. Look around, no one's here, and it was true. That was when I was like, Drake's given him all these pieces, and all Drake's got on Kendrick is that one, your son isn't yours. I don't understand how that's a diss. And you hit your woman, which is a crazy thing to claim, and it's very hip hop. Like, it's a very hip hop thing of like, oh, you're a piece of shit to women, this and that. But Drake himself doesn't give a shit about this. Like, he's got lines in it where he's supporting people who have also done this. So it's not like I think domestic violence is wrong. It's like, this is all I've got on you. All I've got right now, I've heard, is that you're not doing well with your family. You're in New York.
We're talking
they're
about
not
beef.
with you.
It's like, okay, this person's picking
But
apart
meaning
this person.
he's not taking
that person's
Drake's not
picking
taking the
apart that
domestic
person.
violence is wrong route. He like in the same song.
Oh, he
I can't
kind of
remember.
is. Oh, what
no, in the
Drake's
same
doing,
song,
he's saying,
he backs
hey,
someone
you're
or something
literally
about
kind of
hitting
like
someone.
a hypocrite. If you're this kind of...
He's saying you're a hypocrite, but what
Yeah.
Kendrick is saying is so much more than that.
Not really, because I would say...
Brother.
This is, personally, before this beef, I was a massive Kendrick fan. I respected Kendrick as like a human being, as a person. He was someone I idolized. No one idolizes Drake. He's known as just kind of
I think you're under.
No, but he's a terrible human. He's a terrible guy. No one thinks like Drake's a
Oh,
stand-up
you mean as a
individual.
character from the character?
Yeah, as a
Right,
character.
right.
How I've left this beef awkwardly is like, I don't really respect Kendrick the same way that I did. Being a huge Kendrick fan, I'm going to look at him forever in a very different way. I look at Drake exactly the same way that I did before.
Drake's
this
a
beef.
little bitch, like he always has been, and Kendrick is a bully right now. I'll give you that.
Kendrick
Kendrick
is-
bullied this guy, dude.
Kendrick is not what I thought
beat
he was.
this guy up,
I
and
thought
then he
was
just
better
kept
than
dancing
that.
on the ground. Like, however we're gonna pin it, Meet the Grahams was this fucking. It's a bully of a song. It's a body blow.
And
It's
also-
horrific. And then he's dancing on the grave with Not Like Us, which is now the biggest song. Like, what he's done in retrospect is truly bullying. It's horrific. dude.
Meet the Grahams. Awkwardly, if we're just talking about what happened in the diss, to bring up the 11-year-old girl is a really awkward place to be. He's like, I'm going to dedicate, let's say, a few minutes to this information that I got that was baited.
No.
I
The baited
chomped
stuff
at the bait.
has been
I
pretty much completely
chomped-
debunked. I don't know.
No,
if-
I chomped at the bait. There's no 11-year-old
There's
girl.
n-
Does
there's-
he have an 11-year-old daughter?
Oh, the 11-year-old daughter
Yeah,
thing.
he went at that
I don't
for
know
like
about that, but
minutes
the,
at a time.
we baited you all this info is not true.
Okay, well,
You know why it's not true? Drake wouldn't wait to do what he did with the Part 6 if it was true. Like when Kendrick stepped on Family Matters with Meet the Grahams, if Drake had actually gave him all this info, Drake is the memeiest, most social media guy ever. You wouldn't respond going, what? I don't have a daughter. When the song's going like, you're also a pedophile, you've got sex trafficking rings, you wouldn't just go, I don't know, but you would literally just post the receipts and be like, what a fucking dumbass, he just fell for the bait. And immediately the whole world would go, holy shit. Kendrick just stepped on his verse and it doesn't even matter. Kendrick's whole song is fucking worthless. Drake didn't do that, bro. He let that thing sit. He let that thing simmer. He let everyone sit on it because he didn't feed him the information. There's no way. Maybe the daughter thing is not true.
I'm talking about the daughter thing.
I don't think
and
the
it's
daughter.
awkward.
I don't think the daughter thing matters when you listen to
It
the rest
kind
of
of
Meet
does
the
because
Grahams.
it's like, oh,
The rest
dang.
of the song is insane,
I
dude.
don't think so.
Brother, the first verse, he raises Drake's son for him.
Yeah.
Because Drake doesn't know how to raise him. Because Drake's out partying. Drake has gambling
Of
addictions.
course, nothing new. Everyone knows this. Drake literally married a porn
It doesn't have to be
star
new. It doesn't
that
have to be new.
hates, and he
saying
doesn't
in
like
terms
his
of-
son. It's embarrassing.
I'm saying in terms of
Yeah.
the mood and the tone of what happened. Like Drake released Family Matters.
Yeah.
And we're kind of partying, we're kind of having fun. We're going, whoa, really went at him. Drake's rapping. And then Kendrick put on this spooky, like, late night boogeyman thing and went, hey, Adonis, sit down. Drake, mom, dad, sit down. This guy's a horrible person.
Yeah.
He's a bad dude. I need to raise him for you. He's not black. He's not any of this. All of that. And then at the end to Drake, he goes, why would anyone believe the shit you're saying, bro? No one, you never gave us anything to believe in. You're a nobody. You're a this, you're a that. Everything that you do is from other people. The daughter thing is like
not denying anything that Drake brought up also.
Because again, he didn't record that song. He released that song 20 minutes after Family Matters. You're not recording anything.
But again,
this is a song he had ready. The response to Family Matters is Not Like Us. If you're gonna, because that was the next morning.
Oh, okay,
that was the next day. His response to Family Matters is Not Like Us, and he does address everything.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
No, he does. He doesn't address
not in
he doesn't address
specifics,
beating
brother.
his wife.
That's crazy to.
He doesn't address beating his wife.
He
or
goes,
the kid not being
he
his.
goes. Drake is making up lies because he has nothing on me. He says
That's not denying it.
That is.
It's just saying lies.
Yes.
A very blanket statement. You're not
That's
saying,
denying
dude,
it.
I literally wouldn't touch a woman, da-da-da-da-da. He just doesn't touch that. He's like,
But
yeah, no, this guy's lying.
That's something that we kind of know about Kendrick.
What?
That he's not going to have this complete villainous thing.
If someone's going to accuse you of being like
something, but like the thing
beating
with Drake's,
your wife, you
allegations,
should deny that. That's something pretty easily like denied.
by like I don't hit. So if Drake he says the words I don't hit my woman, that's enough. Like what are the words you want to hear? Do you want, photos of her face not being bruised? Like what do you want to see?
Addressing that his wife hasn't spoken out.
I think the address
been
is
denied.
there.
It hasn't been addressed.
He says you're making up things on the family front.
Yeah,
because that's all you've got.
He says a lot of things about family, though. Like, he could be referring to a lot of things. I will say quickly, if it was something completely ludicrous, Kendrick would have come back saying, this is fucking ridiculous.
How ludicrous? Give me an example.
Beating your wife. Beating your queen.
Yeah, your wife being your sister.
Oh, yeah.
If Drake said your
That's
wife is your
crazy.
sister, Kendrick would have...
Okay,
been
what
like,
if
"That's
Drake said
completely
you're
fucking
gay
ludicrous."
and you like men? Like, why would Kendrick come out and say, I'm not gay, I like women? That's a crazy thing. It's not true.
Well,
And
Jay-Z and Nas did it, and it's the greatest.
Oh, dude, Rockefeller.
Also, what I really liked was
You
Rock
rock
fellas.
dudes, I rock fellas.
Kendrick
Oh,
was
no, wait, the opposite.
Kendrick called
Him saying I rock fellas would be amazing.
Kendrick called Drake gay or alluded at it probably like 5 times.
Not necessarily gay.
Yes,
he says things like
did.
you don't like women, you don't like real
Beard,
women.
You grew a beard.
Yeah,
so
yeah. But he's also addressing to
He's alluding to it as
underage
being
women.
gay.
He's
No,
alluding
he's saying
to
you're gay,
he is
which
alluding
is
to
funny.
femininity. Yeah,
It's old
hilarious.
school. It's very hip hop.
Very hip hop.
It's very hip hop. It's like, dude, you're gay.
Drake's
You
two things that he
literally-
again are the only two things he brings back in
Say too bad.
the Heart Part 2. They're really wild things to say with nothing to go off. Whereas a lot of what Kendrick says, as you say, are true. He is spelling them out in such a way that now Drake has a stink on him, bro.
He's had a stink on him forever.
No, the stink is crazy right now, dude.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Drake literally,
it's
you
crazy
go
right
on
now. Drake
Instagram or
stinks right
Twitter,
now.
there will just be a Drake meme. That's just part of life.
It's different now.
There's
dude.
a guy
It's
literally
different now. The
making
Drake
fun of him.
fans right now, if you look at the Drake fan, they're going like, what do we do? I'm freaking out. This isn't the same as it was. Because he's not... What was known of Drake before was kind of within hip-hop people. The people who loved Drake, who weren't really in hip-hop, but they loved Drake, he's very poppy, he's awesome, they don't go, oh, I bet you he's taking from Atlanta and all these specific things. Kendrick has spelled these things out in the hit song of the year. The summer hit of the year right now is Not Like Us.
Drake forced
Everyone
him
is
into making a
singing
hit
it,
song.
and there's a verse where he spells out how Drake is a slave owner, how Drake is a colonizer.
Everyone said that before.
You're a hip hop guy. You're underestimating how many people and how spelled out it is right now. Like the stink on Drake.
Everyone
is
knows that
crazy.
Drake is
and
literally
it's
like
in a song
making
that is
up an accent when
it's
he's on
in a
an
song that
English
has just
rapper's
got
track.
3 or 4 catchy bits about him being a pedophile, him being into minors.
100%.
And the cherry is that. The truth is the stuff that you're going everyone knows. So it's like either way you look at it, even if you look at fake allegations that might not be true, he's got all this crazy stuff on Drake. And even if you go on stuff that is true, he's got all this crazy stuff on Drake. And he's spelling it out in a way where it's like, yeah, fuck this guy.
I would say
and
not
why
like-
is no one standing
not
up for him?
like
Isn't
us.
it weird that not one fucking rapper in the world has stood up for Drake? I think the game has kind of come out
the game's coming
slightly
out.
and being like, I like Drake. None of Drake's guys,
do
dude.
not
Like
give a
20
fuck about the game.
I know, no
Okay,
one does.
21
no one I wanna
Savage,
hear less
21
from.
Savage,
50
Lil
Cent, I
Yachty,
think.
all the people that are with Drake right now are like, nah.
Pretty sure 50
It's-
Cent came out as well in support of Drake.
All the people that are kind of coming out for Drake, it seems like, aren't really rapping anymore. Like Game and 50, I mean, Game came out and is dissing Rick Ross for some reason.
Yeah,
no
I
one
know
cares.
he's trying to start
But
something.
50
Yeah.
Cent is like he's
I
on
hate
TV
the
and
guy
he's doing.
so
Yeah, me too. Great.
Yeah.
We could do a whole podcast. And
He's a great rapper.
how much fuck him.
It's a great
Anyway,
rapper, but I hate him.
There's a whole thing that you look at either way of what Kendrick's doing, where it's like either way he's bullying this guy in a way that I don't think Drake saw coming, I don't think Kendrick fans saw coming, I don't think Drake fans saw coming, and I think if you look at what Drake actually did, the AI, so what's the TaylorMade? He literally ends TaylorMade by going, nah, you're following through, brother. We're doing this. Then he releases one more song, and the next song is him going, I'm done.
It's over.
I'm done with this. This was good exercise.
I won.
This was some really good exercise. When it's clearly not done.
Oh, it is done.
Kendrick
hasn't come back.
How do you hear Not Like Us?
Yeah, true.
Kendrick hasn't come back. And if
how
he
do you
doesn't
hear
come
Not
back,
Like
Drake
Us?
wins.
Kendrick he came back with 2, brother. What are you
No, he
talking
didn't.
about? Meet the Grahams and Not Like Us. And then by the time that Drake has posted the Heart Part 6, Not Like Us is already the biggest song. It's massive and it's been played
The
everywhere.
Heart Part 6 puts the cap on the beef.
No,
It's like, Kendrick,
yeah, because
are you
he
gonna
has
come
to
back
put
or
the
are you gonna
fucking
let me
cap on
win?
the beef.
Or are you going to let me win?
But how do you hear?
Please don't let me win.
How do you hear Meet the Grahams and how do you hear Not Like Us?
Don't look at me like that, man. I ain't losing.
How do you
it's fine.
how do you
That's
hear
a
how do you
great
hear Meet
point.
the Grahams and Not Like Us as Drake and gone, well, this is done. I really won this one. Let me just wrap it up. That's fear, brother. You hear it in his voice. And if you're capping it up, why would you go, let me start this song on with 3 minutes on how I'm not a pedophile?
Yeah, because he's just.
Let me
he's
start
just
with 3 minutes on how I'm not a sex
breaking
worker.
down where
And
it's
then-
like, you
and
said all
then-
this stuff and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just not true.
And then let me say the same 2 things I said in Family Matters with nothing new, nothing fresh.
Because it's like, hey, by the way, this still hasn't been
sure,
proven
sure.
wrong.
Let me say the exact
There's
same
pretty
things.
drastic things.
And then-
huge things to
And
your
then
character.
let me end it by saying, we're done here, by the way. I'm saying the same 2 things, nothing new, and then I'm also just saying most of it, I'm not
It's
a
like,
pedophile.
dude, it's sad. If you actually meet your wife
exactly.
and the kid isn't
And-
yours
and here's
you
the thing.
literally hate
Here's
black
the thing.
people,
Why-
it's just awkward.
Why would Drake...
It's just awkward. It's
Why-
just sad. It's like, you're literally...
But you're saying this when
you
the
are
biggest
a
song right now.
contradiction to
You're
everything
saying
you
this when the
stand
biggest
for.
song
Yeah.
right now is You're a Pedophile. That's
Yeah.
the biggest song
and Drake
right
isn't
now.
a pedophile. And he literally, the next song is like, well, I'm not a pedophile, but you are da. Dude, it was fun.
But why would
if
you...
I was a pedophile, you would actually
Why
win
would
this.
you go with
I
the
love
facts
the song.
angle?
but
Why would you go with the
dang,
facts angle, which is his angle at the end, right?
Yeah, 100%.
We're done this. Tell me when it's all facts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not have a single anything. He doesn't have a receipt for how they lied to him. He baited Kendrick, right? You believe that? He baited Kendrick with the 11-year-old. He lied to him and all this stuff. Not one piece of evidence for that. Not one receipt. Not one piece
Where's
of
the
evidence for
daughter?
that Dave.
Where's the
But
daughter?
Kendrick is saying this whole...
Where's the daughter? It's all the thing with the 11-year-old
But
daughter.
you're
It's
saying
just
it's all,
awkward.
you're saying
where
it's all
like,
facts.
Hey, we're gonna.
You're saying Drake is doing all facts with the whole Dave Free is you haven't seen your kids in
He's
6
like, dude,
months.
yeah.
You're beating a woman. Why
Yeah.
would he not have a single anything for that? His facts is a comment that Dave Free makes on a photo. Dave Free, who's friends with Kendrick and his business partner in PG Lang,
He's
supporting
putting heart emojis
on his
the
wife's
baby's
brother.
photos, and it's
as
crazy.
someone who has
It's
friends,
insane.
as someone who has friends that are married,
just
who
awkward.
my brother is married, that's like my sister, brother. Of course, I'm going to comment on her things.
How come
I
she's
love
not following
that
Miss
woman.
Morale?
Why would you follow? And that's another thing. Drake's in her. He's like Kendrick's dissecting this
It's
man's
crazy.
character in every way, and Drake's going.
Your wife
Your
is
missus
following
doesn't.
you, but
on-
she's following Dave.
brother,
Free.
on
That's just
Instagram.
weird.
On
Yeah.
Instagram.
Follow your husband.
Kendrick Lamar Instagram,
Yeah.
where he posts nothing.
The dude that beats me, I'm not going to follow him.
What do you? Why would
I
you,
love the man that I love.
Why would
who's this black king?
Why would
I'm a
Instagram get
black
into any
queen.
of this, bro? We're talking about like real family shit. He
Yeah.
beats his family. He doesn't have his kids. Why are we
Kendrick's
talking
like,
about?
I'm not gonna follow
I'm
my
gonna-
wife.
I'm gonna
Kendrick's like,
unfollow her.
he's
That's
like,
the
I'm
most
not-
Drake shit of all time, by the way. Is
He's like,
hearing
I'm
Follow you.
is
Follow
having
your husband.
Kendrick's like,
Why?
I'm not going to follow my wife until there's a punch react.
insane.
If
dude.
there is
I gotta
such-
fix my park in a second. I feel like we got a lot more to go. I'm just saying.
Oh dang, time is literally flying.
This guy's sweating and losing.
I'm
is
not
all
sweating.
saying. Not filming? Hasn't been filming for years? All right, we're going to take a break since we haven't been filming
we
for a
are
while.
going to pause, yep. Yo, we're back.
Technical difficulties.
We're back.
We're back.
Kendrick dropped again. That's why it cut out.
I wish he did.
He will.
I really wish he did because he may win.
Not Like Us video.
He may win.
Yes, I've heard Whitney's in New York with her kids and Kendrick.
With her kids and Kendrick.
Oh.
With her and
You've heard
Dave's
that, have
her
you?
and Dave's kids.
Is that what they're writing on the Kendrick Lamar subreddits? Like,
No,
no, that
'cause
really happens.
apparently-
It's like a guy that looks like Kendrick. It's like, look, this is a
So
happy
people
family.
just following people around going, I think that's Kendrick.
That's
Pretty
Whitney.
That's
the
Whitney.
kids.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
They're happy. They're in New York together.
I don't like any of this shit. I don't like the whole
I don't like it either.
Real people
but
getting
it's-
involved, internet people following them and messaging them. Like, you know, every time Whitney does anything now, I'm sure every time she posts anything on Instagram, there's a million people be like, what about Kendrick? Does he hit you? They're like, fuck off.
'Cause he does.
Shut
That's the
up.
awkward thing.
Shut up.
She's literally a victim of domestic violence.
Well,
and
how
it's
could you just
sad.
say she's literally a victim? That's a crazy thing to assume is true. When Drake,
When
a
you were
chronic
literally saying
liar-
he's a pedophile when no one...
No,
all
no,
the
I say
people-
I say all of it's not true.
Oh.
I go off the fact that none of the allegations are true.
Wow, okay.
And
They're
Drake-
just two
Drake
really
lost-
good people.
Drake lost on well, when you look at most hip hop beefs and things, it's like there's not that many things that are substantial.
What happens
It's usually like
one-
you're a this.
Yeah.
Calling someone a full-blown sex ring, pedophile, trafficker, this and that is crazy.
One
You
of them
can't
are
just say
true,
that
one
and
of them aren't. One's been debunked, and the other hasn't. And that's the only
How has it
reason
been
why...
debunked? If him
It's like,
addressing
I'm not,
it,
where's the proof? And let's say 4
That's
women
not
come
hard
out and be like,
debunking,
Drake
though.
never did da-da-da-da-da to me.
no.
And it's basically just closing
There's a
the
million.
door on
There's a
that.
million weird cases of people like, oh, this one girl says she's Drake. This and that.
Who? There's no one. No,
There's
there is a
if
one
you're gonna-
weird
if you're
case
gonna
on
give
Drake anymore.
if you're going to give
There's no
credit
weird
to
case.
anything, there's a million hip hop, what's it called, Reddit things on everyone. Like this whole new thing about the guy who's got all of the Drake. You know, Drake said we planted all that stuff, and then
Yeah,
there's
oh,
that
that's
Riddler
getting
Joker video now of
terrifying.
this guy.
That's
Shit like
getting
that.
so
if you're
scary.
gonna get into that, then the beef gets a bit thing. If you're going off the
Yeah.
music, if we go off, what we should do really to shut Karima is to really get every song
Yep.
that was like so like first person shooter verse what like that. Push-ups verse Euphoria, 616 verse. What was his other? The AI one,
I had it going
and then
like this,
and
it
then
was
Meet the
literally-
Grahams verse Family Matters, and then Not Like Us versus Heart Part 6. If we
Yes.
we can do that if you want, and show that it's 4-0.
Here we go. No, quickly. Where
We
do
can
you
if you
where do
want.
you see the beef ending? Like I see,
When Drake forfeits, it
I
ends.
see it ending with the Drake
When
song.
Drake forfeits, it ends.
It was literally Kendrick winning with "They Not Like Us," and then what happened? Drake came out with the Heart Part 6. It went to here.
He forfeited. How does that make
Here.
him win?
I'm talking about it went to here.
Brother, he
It
forfeited.
didn't go to here. He just
didn't go
won.
any- he went-
He just won.
He went further down with the Heart Part 6. You need to
No,
understand that is the
'cause what-
universal, like, because it's
what-
the most disliked video on YouTube
Yeah,
right now.
what could have
Everyone
happened-
hates it, and that's Drake fans,
If
bro.
Drake
That's
came out with a
fans
good
going, "Why'd
song,
you do
another
that?"
banger, it could have been like this. But sadly,
It wasn't a
he came
banger.
out with a very
It wasn't a
average song
banger.
that went
It
like
wasn't an
this.
attack either. It was in no way.
It was a defense
It was a
and ending the
defense. So
beef.
why would that make him win?
Yeah, he's like, hey, dude, I haven't done any of this.
How is that a win then? It's defensive. It's not a banger. You're coming off the biggest song of the year, and you're just saying, "I'm not a pedophile." By the way, it's over. How is that a win to you? In what way is that a win?
Just
I think
on paper, it's
you're a
win.
little bit
How?
hasty on saying that that's the biggest song of the year.
It
as
is.
well.
No,
It's been out like a week.
Exactly.
big
It's
song.
already the biggest song of the year.
It's a big
I'm saying
song.
statistically, it's the
It's a
biggest
big
song of the
song.
year.
People
Not even a
people are very
opinion.
quick to
Like,
jump on the
it's on Spotify.
bandwagon.
It's the biggest song, and the last one was a Drake song, which is amazing.
2 Chainz said you're cool, but he
Girls-
lied.
Oh, come on, dude.
No, that sucks. That's such a whack thing to say.
It's number one.
That last verse ruins the song for me. I just one of
Last,
those
the Atlanta
first-
thing?
Yes.
People are
You
only
need to
liking.
realize what Kendrick's doing culturally, though. Like, when we listen to hip-hop, I don't think we are as invested in, like, the L.A. versus the West Coast versus the East Coast. Like, this shit's very real to them.
People only
The
don't like
whole-
Drake because of what Israel's doing. And that's
Nice.
the sad truth
Nice.
of things.
Very true.
That's just the sad truth.
Kendrick's
of things.
Palestine, and
People
that's why he
are
won.
literally wanting to jump on this Drake hate because it's fun to do.
No.
I admit it's
No,
a lot of
relax.
fun to do.
There's,
It's so much
Kendrick
fun
didn't
to
even
hate
bring
Drake.
up Israel, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, no, I'm just saying
let's
why people are hating
let's
Drake
go,
so much.
Let's go. What are we talking about? You've thrown me off with Israel. Now I just want to talk about Palestine. Free Palestine. Fuck Israel.
Yeah, people have been hating on Drake forever. It's a very difficult thing to do to hate Kendrick. We're talking about a pop star.
Why though?
Because you're literally
Ask
hating
yourself-
the underdog.
No,
if you want to
no.
hate the guy
Ask
who's
yourself
killing it,
why. Don't do the underdog stuff culturally. With everything that Kendrick has poked out of Drake now, with all that you say you hate that Atlanta verse, ask yourself why. Why has the tide shifted the way that it has right now with Kendrick being able to do this to Drake? Why?
Because
Does everyone not feel a certain type of way about Drake in the industry?
people don't
Not
like Drake because
first.
he's
No.
literally doing all these wrong things, and he has
Exactly.
forever.
Exactly.
But yet he's still the person
And why do people all
directing
love
the
Kendrick
culture.
and why don't they diss him? Because he respects the art, and it's kind of like a stand-up comic, dude. If you look at this in terms of comedy, Drake's a hack comedian, right? Can we agree on that? He might be great. He
No,
might be
Drake
great.
Drake is a hip hop artist.
But Drake's doing arenas and he's doing some hacky shit. We got to agree on that.
Drake is doing a
Bro.
different genre.
Yeah, he's Kevin Hart.
Drake,
Yes, exactly.
yeah,
He's
Drake is
hacky.
making pop music.
No, I'm saying, but
Drake is a hip hop artist.
Drake sees
Kendrick
himself in
is-
hip hop. If we're talking hip hop,
No, Kendrick has been known to be like a real hip-hop artist.
Exactly. Drake,
Yeah.
Kendrick's like the comics comic. He's the one that rappers go, he's the fucking best. He's the one that people who love
Yeah.
hip-hop go, he's the fucking best.
100%, yeah.
Drake is hack in
Yeah.
the sense that he takes from whatever is culturally massive right now, and he makes it to further his brand. He's Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart will do Jumanji. Kevin Hart will do this and that, right? But why doesn't it sit well with people? Like Cat Williams to Kevin Hart. It's the exact same parallel, dude. Cat Williams to Kevin Hart is
Perfect, I like
Kendrick
that one.
to Drake.
Yep.
Why do these people and the whole industry feel this way about them? Because what they do and what they take, there's a certain line, bro, where people go, fuck that shit, especially when you're going to poke someone like Kendrick. Kendrick kept saying, leave it alone, bro. We can just do music. And he took it where he did with Family Matters. Why do you think the rug's being pulled out of Drake now? It's because there's a TikTok to this shit, bro. He says in Euphoria, I like Drake with the melodies. I don't like Drake when he acts tough. He's right, bro. We all like it when Drake sings songs. That's your lane. Kendrick and Cole and stuff aren't trying to do that. They're not trying to get with Sexy Red and make the next big hit. They're not trying to also get with 21
Kendrick
Savage.
has, though, and it's literally...
He has here and there, but it's usually to promote
He's done a
his
song
next
with
project.
Taylor Swift.
No, but Drake, to be
And
cultural...
Drake literally brought that up, and that's
will go
not
away.
a good
Kendrick
look.
will go away for years is what I'm saying. Drake won't. If someone's big, Drake will work with him. He needs to. He needs to always be with the next big thing. That's his whole thing.
Yeah, he's a hip-hop artist. Hip-hop.
He's
yeah.
pop artist.
Hip-hop.
Yeah, exactly,
Hip-hop.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that's like when you see this shit happen that Kendrick's just done to Drake, what you say is true. We all knew all of this. But why? Why is it so effective right now that's pulling him from under the rug? And why does Drake have no one on his fucking side right now? These are real questions you got to ask in terms of like real relationships and the psychology. It's not about he's the biggest and stuff. Think about it in terms of how you actually come across people. If it helps, think about it in terms of comedy. Like, someone who just steps on people and uses them and never gives back and all this shit. Yeah. There's a certain point where when you go after the guy who is the guy of the culture and he's only not as big as you are because he's chosen to not be. I mean, you can disagree on that or whatever, but like Kendrick actively doesn't release an album every year. He actively does. He chooses. Every 4 years I'm doing a weird fucking conceptual piece. Some of the album songs you can't even play on their goddamn own.
100%,
It starts with a fucking poem or Tupac's doing some shit. It's too conceptual to even play at clubs. I want to make music, right? Why is this motherfucker, who you say, like, they shouldn't have even fought, Drake's too big for him, why is he able to pull the rug out of Drake?
No, I was saying
in
Kendrick's
such a way
too,
right now,
Kendrick's
dude.
too good to be in this battle.
I know, but you're also saying, like, Drake can just not even acknowledge Kendrick. After What's It Called came out, what was it that you said like that? He should have just not even. He should have just gone about his day, right?
Yeah, he should have, because you're going against
you're
like
saying
a pop
he's
artist.
able to do that. Kendrick's not that crazy a threat that Drake can still live in his lane, right? So why is it that someone like Kendrick, who's Drake is like twice as big as Kendrick for sure?
Yeah, literally twice.
So why is he able to pull the rug in such a way? It's
Height-wise as well.
It's because behind the scenes, this isn't about Drake fans and Kendrick fans. That's what I was trying to say to you. This is the culture in the industry, like, turning on Drake. And why is that possible? That's what we really need to think about.
100%,
That's why I think the daughter shit, the pedophile shit, the allegations, all that, the Kendrick stuff, doesn't really matter. What's happening here is, like, hip-hop is changing. Academics had something really interesting on Flagrant. I can't remember what. He was like, I think if Kendrick were released right now and Drake were released right now, Kendrick would have bigger album sales. Because there's so much buzz on Kendrick right now and there's so much stink on Drake. Why is that possible to happen? Regardless of whether you think he won the battle or not, like the actual feeling right now is not a good thing for Drake, and it's a really good thing for Kendrick, right? Do you agree on that?
100%.
Why was that able to happen? Why was that even
sold so well because of the
Pusha T one was only able to happen because of a reveal, though. The kid. Pusha T wouldn't have won that if the kid wasn't proven. The daughter hasn't been proven. Everyone's
Same thing with this
one.
one.
Everyone's saying the daughter's fake, and it's still agreed that it's real bad to be Drake right now and it's real good to be Kendrick. Why is that possible and why is that a thing?
I don't think it's real bad to be Drake right now.
It is, bro.
He puts out a summer...
No.
He will put out a summer banger,
and it
will be like, what
so
beef?
No.
What beef?
Oh, for non-hip-hop people, probably. But
there's
a stink on Drake right now, bro. There's a real stink on Drake right now. Drake has no friends right now, right? That's the understanding. Whether you think Drake's going to be fine, who are his friends right now in the industry?
Who's Kendrick's
Name
friends?
Everyone, bro. Everyone is on Kendrick's side.
The industry.
No, I'm talking like other rappers, other artists, the industry. Who are Drake's friends? Who has stood up for him? Who is there for him right now? Genuinely, I'm saying honest. Like,
I honestly
give me
don't know.
Single numbers. There aren't any. So it's like, even when you say Drake's going to be fine, Drake as a brand and as an entity.
I want to diss track from 21 Savage. Just the worst
exactly.
you've ever
Dude,
heard.
exact. 21, dude, there's so many.
Baby
there
Keem
are so many artists.
21
Drake
is
is the only reason they exist. Some could argue Kendrick's one of them. Kendrick's obviously way too talented to not be, but like there's a lot of people that only exist because Drake gave them an opportunity.
Yeah.
None of them are coming out. You got to ask yourself why and how the fuck that makes him feel. Not even as a brand and as an artist. On a human level, bro.
Yeah.
Not
Drake-
having people around you that love you and are with you. And Kendrick going, I'm what the culture feeling, and then proving that he is what the culture's feeling. And how does he prove that? With a West Coast banger that's now #1, and the chorus, the hooks are like A minor, certified pedophile. Not only are we singing along to Kendrick now instead of Drake, we're singing along to Kendrick dissing Drake, and Drake has no one defending him. That's crazy, bro. That's why during this beef, when this stuff, like you were saying Drake's winning, I disagree with you so badly because I didn't even think Kendrick was winning. I was feeling bad at Drake at that point. I genuinely felt bad for the guy because it's like, bro, let him. What the fuck you
Feel bad for Drake.
in terms of what Kendrick put him through? It's crazy, bro.
I don't think he gives a shit.
The whole world is looking at Drake different right now. Whether you guys think it or not, that's the consensus. Whether you go on any blog, video, any interview, everyone right now is going,
Drake is loving this.
he's not. Have you seen what he's been posting on his Instagram?
The label is literally like rubbing their hands together. And so
I'm pretty
is
sure Drake and Kendrick have the same label.
How much money
They
do
are
you think
loving
Drake
it.
is making off all of this?
Not
He's
much, dude.
Loving this.
Kendrick-
He's literally the
Kendrick is
#1
getting
trend
more
on
plays and
Twitter like
listens.
every single day.
All of Drake's stuff at the beginning was, I'm bigger than you, brother. The numbers, you're never going to touch
Drake's
me.
plays, if we're going to look at his monthly listeners, it's just gone up
Do you
and
know,
up and up.
do you know what's happened since the beef? Do you know
What's happened?
Since apparently last week, since the beef, Kendrick's back catalog has gone up 50% in terms of listeners.
Yeah.
He's up to like 65
And what's
million.
happened to Drake?
It's gone down 5%.
It's gone down 5%.
How crazy is that? 50% up for Kendrick, down 5%, meaning during the beef, during all this, Drake is getting 5% less listens because Drake's Drake. The beef is so hip-hop invested, whereas how many people are listening to Kendrick since he hasn't released in a while? Not that many, right?
Okay, yeah.
How many people are listening to Kendrick? A lot,
I'm
right?
surprised that Drake's listens haven't gone up.
Me too.
I want to look
It's
into that.
because there's a stink. And why does something like The Heart Part 6, which, regardless how you feel about it, have so many dislikes, such a negative reaction? Because you got to say whatever you want about Kendrick fans, sure, but these are Drake fans, a lot of them. Just in terms of numbers, they have to be. And all the comments on Kendrick's videos are, man, Kendrick's winning this. And all the comments on Drake's videos are, man, Kendrick's winning this. I don't think Drake likes that stuff, bro. From an ego perspective and from an MC perspective, because we all say Drake's a pop star and shit, he still sees himself as a rapper. And like, I know I
do too. I do too, for the record.
Me too. He's a rapper, sure. But I'm saying as a rapper, like when you rap, bro,
Kareem doesn't see him as a rapper.
I don't
No,
really
but when
see
he-
him as a hip hop guy. I see him as a hip hop guy.
Me too. He's not a rapper. But when you think of yourself as an MC though, like truly, there's a something to that. Like you hold yourself to that. Fuck that, I'm an MC. I got my own bars. I can do this.
Drake's
shit.
a pop guy.
He wouldn't have taken Kendrick on if he didn't think he can rap, bro.
He's a
You don't
pop
take
guy.
on Kendrick Lamar.
He's literally like an entertainer, hip.
Why
pop
would you
guy.
Why would you do this then?
Because you're just gonna potentially get all of his fans. You're gonna get more plays.
He's already
you're
got
gonna get more
no.
talk.
Drake doesn't need the fan.
Drake
Drake went into
Drake
this.
will do
Drake
anything
went
to
into
get
this
more
really,
attention, to
to be
get
honest.
people talking about him. Drake is going up and down. I'm always looking at Drake. I'm like, when's he going to fall off? When's he going to fall off? I'm sick of him. I'm actually sick of him. I'm like, how does he keep
This
staying
is-
relevant?
might
Do you know what I
happen for
mean?
you, brother.
And
Might
what
happen
happens
now.
right now, especially during the start of this beef, I was like, I'm so sick of Drake. I don't care
One
about
thing
him.
I'll tell you.
And what's happening right now is like he's trending. He's doing this. He's doing that. It's like Drake's uploading
He's
this
trending
photo.
for all the
Drake's
wrong
doing this,
reasons
but
now.
he's trending.
Trending for the wrong
Publicity,
reasons now.
no matter what it is a good thing, especially for a guy like Drake, where it's
Publicity
like,
of you're
look,
a pedophile, you're a culture vulture, and you steal from everyone. Those
No
are the-
one cares, though.
people,
That's the reality.
it's
I'm
talking.
serious.
It's talking about people.
The tide is really changing on people's opinions on him.
It's not going to, and all that's going to
Long
happen
term,
is
who knows?
Drake
Long
is
term, who
now
knows?
it literally just at the front of everyone's mouth, and when he drops, let's say in 2 months.
But here's the thing: when
it's gonna be
Drake,
like, oh
here's the
hell
thing.
yes, Drake,
Okay,
that
let me-
guy
let
who
me
I
actually-
heard
let
about
me-
2
let me
months
paint
ago.
it to you this way:
Yeah.
when Drake drops now, everyone's gonna scrutinize.
Drop and give me 50.
Drop and give me
He's not
50.
gonna- he's not
his
gonna give
best
up
his
50
best
to Top
song,
Dog.
by the way, his best.
Do you know
song.
what I mean?
But
Yeah.
when Drake drops,
And that's just an awkward thing.
every move Drake
Yeah.
does now is heavily scrutinized. Agreed?
No,
Yes,
no,
that's true.
it's just not the case.
You're talking about who are you talking about? The big Drake fans who weren't into hip hop or in hip hop? In hip hop, he will be heavily scrutinized.
I
He will.
don't know about that.
He will be, bro.
I honestly, I'll be very curious.
Okay,
I think if the song's good enough,
Drake's
it's
next
going
song,
to be amazing.
Of course. But you're when you say that,
It's probably not going to be good. He hasn't
when you
released
say
any
that,
good music in a long
when you
time.
say like Drake's going to do numbers, you're talking about the I think the people who aren't in hip hop.
Oh, we're talking about the culture
Like a lot of
as
Drake's-
well.
So the culture. Let's talk about the culture.
Yeah.
Drake hops on his next songs with a young Atlanta rapper, up and comer, No one's gonna bring that up. Of course they are, bro.
He's not going to do that.
I know why though. He literally has to move different because
he's been moving differently.
But he has to move different now because of another rapper.
No, because
Yes,
hip hop was getting stale.
No,
and this whole beef has brought some light and some shine back on hip hop.
What can Drake
That's why
do
Drake
next?
isn't going to release another dance
What
album.
can Drake do
He's
next
able to
that won't
say
be
hip hop is
scrutinized?
like, okay, here we go.
Imagine though, just how sick it would be if Drake drops the sickest hip hop album
He needs to.
ever
He
dropped.
fucking needs to, dude.
No,
and
no,
get
no,
like
no,
some
but-
OGs.
No, but not
Wait,
even
hip
being
hop or
funny.
hip hop?
Hip hop.
Yeah.
If Drake is rapping for like 18 songs,
Yeah.
that would be the sickest thing he does in his whole career.
Yeah.
And this is the most pop Kendrick has been. He's doing things for pop reasons to get people talking.
No,
I feel like
Damn's
this-
pretty pop. Damn's
No,
super pop.
no
bro.
one would like cared
Kendrick's-
about it in this way.
Damn was like his biggest thing. I hate
There was
Damn,
nothing
but Damn.
controversial. There was no one being like,
Oh, do you mean
there was
pop
no
in that sense?
conversation around it.
Yeah, that was.
This is the biggest cultural
Bro,
thing.
do you remember Humble and all that shit?
It's a good song, but there's
Wait,
no.
was Humble Twin Butterfly?
It's this.
No,
It's that. There's no like pop culture thing going on. Drake has been pop culture.
Yeah.
Kendrick's
No,
now
no.
reaching
Humble
these
was
heights.
Humble was as big as Drake, man. It's got like 1 billion views. That's as big as something.
No, it's not. Drake's songs have like 3 billion.
Sure.
That was such a
Sure.
primary
But
school
do you get what I'm saying? They're both in the bill. Then it's not like, oh, he didn't make splashes
3 billion's
before.
literally like 3 times as much.
Okay, now we're really in high school. Get out the books. I'm saying 1 billion isn't like
Drake also has a drives Ferrari.
Kendrick's been a massive part of pop.
He has
culture
doubles
before.
in the
When
yellow.
All Right was a massive thing.
He's also
the
way
BLM
faster
movement.
than
Kendrick's
Kendrick.
had splashes. He hasn't had splashes like I don't think what's happened because even when you talk about right now,
Drake would beat him in a fight. Keep going.
Drake would get his friends to beat him up in a fight. That's exactly what happened. Drake would not fight him himself.
Kendrick has such
Dude,
short,
if they just took this out into a boxing match, I'd be so happy. Just fuck him up. Little Kendrick would fucking run around him and kick him in the balls.
He's got
and
no
shit.
reach.
Who?
Drake would shoot him.
Kendrick.
Drake would cry.
Drake would
shoot him. Yeah, Drake would
Yeah,
shoot him,
let's-
and
let's go
Drake would
back.
shoot him and get shit for killing a black man.
Let's go-
That's
let's-
what happened. That's what happened.
Let's go back to this because I want to make sure we.
Drake's lost. So yeah. Anyway, what I was saying, this whole thing is you need to ask yourself why Drake's even able to be put into this position and why he needs to now move different.
because he's a great artist.
What?
That's what. Oh, are you talking about why he's able to beef with Kendrick?
No. Why he's able to be exposed this way and now he has to move different because of it. What you're saying, Drake.
What do you think
can't-
he's moving different?
Drake, his next single, what he does, he can't do whatever he wants. He can't. You just said he can't do the Atlanta thing. What can Drake do next where no one will scrutinize him? Tell me.
Put out a
Because-
good, great
He just
song.
put out
Can he
something
get a
like-
feature?
Yeah.
Can the feature be
Anyone.
Anyone.
so it can be an up and comer from a city? It can't be. That's
it
what I'm
can't
saying.
be a 17-year-old girl.
Exactly. Why
That's
not?
about it.
Why not? Why not? Why not? He's not guilty. So why not?
He's not guilty.
Exactly. So why can't he work with young girls? Why can't he work with young women?
Yeah.
Genuine. I'm asking you.
Well, Kendrick can't put out a song with his wife.
He can. He definitely can.
Yeah.
If Kendrick puts out a photo of him, Dave Free, and his kids and Whitney, and they're all together, that's that.
He wins.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, why can't Drake, if he's not a pedophile and he's not a culture and all that stuff's fine, it's not going to affect him, why can't he work with a young 17-year-old Atlanta rapper? I'm genuinely asking you.
I think he could.
You think he could and it would be fine, no one would bring it up?
Yeah. If the song's good enough.
If the song's good enough, it'll still play in radios and stuff. You're saying the culture won't bring that up? Are you serious right now?
I
You
think
genuinely
if-
believe the culture wouldn't bring up if
if-
Drake works with a young Atlanta 17-year-old female rapper who's the next big
Female
thing?
rapper.
Fine, male, whatever you want.
Because he's been working with 44 Bats, is it?
I have no idea. I don't listen to fucking Drake.
Okay.
Drake
but that's,
sucks.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this guy's next moves are actually a certain type of way because of what Kendrick's done kind of tells you that he's winning. Kendrick can do whatever he wants next. He really can. Kendrick can release whatever. He just released a West Coast banger, and you're kind of one of the only people going, shouldn't you address it? Because to us, to Kendrick fans, we go, he addressed it. He goes, why would you believe this fucking chronic liar who makes everything up? He's made everything up so far. Why would I address this about my family, brother? If I'm going to address anything about my family, you heard on my record, I'm Kendrick. I tell you about everything. Just like everything that Drake's brought up. And also, it doesn't look good that Drake brings up things like you beat up your wife and this and that, and then in that same song, completely misunderstands a mother I sober, and he's like, Kendrick, you were molested. That's why you think I'm a pedophile. And that's just not...
It's pretty based.
But
He's not
that's
misunderstanding it. He's saying, oh, maybe the real reason, even if Mother I Sober was this, maybe
But Mother I Sober is a song about how he wasn't molested.
But maybe in reality, it wasn't actually that.
That's such a weird thing to...
I don't think it's weird at all.
But he doesn't twist it. He says Ain't that the song where you said you got molested?
No.
No, that's not
No,
the
he's
song.
saying, oh, wait a second, it's starting to like all
It's
link
starting
up.
to connect
It wasn't
because you got
actually
molested.
this. You were the actual one that got molested, and that's why you have such an issue with it.
And
You
he's-
didn't bring
he's
it up.
referencing Kendrick's song.
He's referencing the song where Kendrick didn't bring it up.
No,
Drake is
Kendrick
saying-
brought it up.
Yeah, but he's saying he didn't say overtly that he got molested. Drake is saying, let's relook at that song.
No.
And maybe
do you know the song?
Yeah, I know the song, and
He's
we've
not-
had this.
he's
We've had
not-
this debate,
yeah.
and I know Drake is saying
He's not overtly saying he wasn't molested. He's overtly saying this didn't. The whole story is about black generational trauma.
Yeah, and I
right?
yeah.
It's about how his mother went through all this stuff.
Yes.
So that when Kendrick was with his uncle alone once,
Yeah.
and nothing happened, his mother was so sure something must have happened because it happened to her.
100%.
It's a very. It's an incredible way to show the cycle of trauma and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But to hear that and go, you probably were traumatized. That's why you think I'm a pedophile. Is such a bad look for someone like Drake, where it's like, no, we think you're a pedophile because of these reasons, bro. And you're bringing up some of the reasons that Kendrick didn't even bring up. Like, he's bringing up Millie Bobby Brown, which Kendrick never brought up, and then going, oh, the reason you think it, though, is because you were molested. And it's like, first of all, you're making fun of him for getting molested.
I know, it's a crazy move, but it's
thing.
kind of funny.
Second of all, he wasn't molested. Crazy. Third of all, you're acknowledging the actual reasons, and they weren't even the reasons he brought up. So there's so much like projecting, and there's so much like you're looking at things different. And then in that same song to go, but what I am sure of is that you beat your queen and that your kids aren't yours. And those are facts. I'm not going to bring out how they are and all that stuff, but you're full lies and I'm full facts. And by the way, we're done. Really good exercise. We're done. And let's wrap it up.
But is this the truth?
That's a guy sweating. How's that the truth, brother?
Right
How is that
now,
the truth?
Kendrick has brought up all this stuff that were lies or
How
been
are they-
disproven.
a lot of what he's brought up are
Drake
facts.
Drake has brought up stuff that just haven't. These things haven't been disproven, and it's awkward because it's
Neither
like,
of
hey,
Kendrick's
I brought
ones.
up this,
Neither
this,
of
this.
Kendrick's ones,
I
bro.
brought up this, and you didn't address it. I addressed these. Therefore, on paper, I kind of win.
No.
And that's where I'm left being like, dang,
Why?
Kendrick needs to come with something.
Why, if Drake is enjoying this beef so much in Tailor Made, no, you're following through. I'm having so much fun. I got Tupac here.
Yeah.
Why you want to wrap it up so far?
Because he's won.
Why? Why?
Kendrick-
But he's having so much fun bullying Kendrick. Oh, I'm destroying this guy. What's with the rush, brother?
Because it's
Suddenly
just
suddenly we
awkward.
got the whole West Coast saying you're a pedophile, and suddenly you want to wrap this thing up?
Because it's just
Suddenly I've got
awkward.
the number one song
It's-
claiming, not even claiming that you're a pedophile.
Yeah.
Actually spelling out how you enable sex work and all this stuff because you're with people who have done terrible things. I've got this shit in the catchy song of the year. Why are we wrapping this up? And Kendrick's saying in the song, I got like 5 more, brother, whenever you want. So he's just saying, let's keep going. You've opened this up. I got more, brother. Say that I hit my wife. Prove it. Do whatever you want. We're doing this. And Drake goes, facts only, and I'm not going to bring up any of it as proof. I'm just going to say yours is lies, mine's truth. And for some reason, for you, that's enough.
I will no, but Drake said some pretty damning stuff on that last song, and then Kendrick.
It's the
didn't
same stuff in
reply.
Family Matters. It's all the same stuff.
It's not.
The wife and the
You,
day
yeah,
free?
you just brought it up. He's like, "Oh, you got molested."
That's
That's
not
a
true, though.
crazy thing to say.
But that's
And
not
no,
true.
but it's a crazy allegation, and Kendrick hasn't come
It's
back.
not really
with
an
any-
allegation. You
Hey,
got
that's-
Why would Kendrick come out and say I didn't get molested?
He doesn't have to, but it's an attack still.
No, it's
Drake
not.
is still on the
First of all,
offense.
getting molested is not
I would
an
say-
attack. You're a victim of
I
something.
would
So there's nothing
say-
in terms of
No,
you
no,
haven't
no,
done
no.
anything, and there's
No,
no
but
allegation
no, but he's
towards you.
still attacking him.
He's not.
weaponizing
He's
the thing.
misunderstanding his music. Which
No,
is
he's
also,
not misunderstanding the music. He's saying
He is,
maybe
bro.
it's not actually this.
No, he's not. If
Maybe
you-
it's that.
I'll listen to the.
It's
I'll
not, no,
bring the
no.
lyrics
But
up.
this is the thing.
I'll bring
I
it-
know the
He-
song is not Kendrick being molested.
Then why are you assuming that Drake's got all of this knowledge? And why would Drake
'cause
not
Drake's
acknowledge
saying
this?
saying it a different
No,
way.
he's not.
He literally is. He's not saying you talked about yourself being molested in that song.
He does.
He's not
That's
saying
what he
that.
says.
No, he's not. He's saying,
like, those are the
oh, wait,
lyrics.
maybe a second. Maybe you actually got molested, and that's why. Drake isn't saying, hey, if Kendrick admitted he got molested in this song, Drake would be like, dude, he wouldn't even bring it up. Drake is saying, oh, maybe it's not actually true what you said in the song. Maybe you actually did get molested, and that's why you have such an issue with it. I don't think it's a good move, but I still think it's... I don't know. I don't see that as the most damning thing. I see the things as him basically saying, you're not seeing your kids, you beat your wife, you're a fake activist, you're obsessed with white women, you hate black women, as just the reasons why
Oh
I
my
see
God,
Drake winning.
dude.
And also the reasons why I'm not going to look at Kendrick Lamar the same.
Okay,
and why
can I
I'm
read
gonna
the
look at
lyrics
Drake.
out to you, and you can tell me how the fuck you misconstrued this?
He's not misconstruing it though.
No, how you've misconstrued what
No, I
Drake.
haven't.
Drake has gotten this wrong. Listen to me.
Yeah,
So
this is weird. This is weird.
This
'cause I know,
Epstein
yeah.
angle was the shit I expected. TikTok videos you collected and dissected. Instead of being on some disdirect shit, you rather fucking grab your pen and misdirect shit, right? My mum came over today and I was like, mother, mother. Ah, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. That's the lyric.
Oh, dang. Okay, no.
He literally says,
He's
mother,
got me here. He's got me here.
mother.
That's good.
Ah, wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested.
Dang. Okay.
And that is not the record where he said he got molested. What you're saying is that you're kind of adding a layer of thought into Drake's brain right now.
And I am. And I literally...
Because you probably know the music and stuff. I don't think Drake's listening to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I don't think Drake's listening to Kendrick. I think they like skim through and his boys were like, bro, didn't you say you got molested in that one song? And he's like, holy shit.
That's so funny. Drake listening to it and being like, I need some ammo here.
Yeah. Oh my God, he got molested.
He's listening to the Mr. Morale album.
And that's what I mean.
Boss,
there's no part. There's no part where he says maybe this didn't happen. He literally says, that's the one record where you say you got molested.
You say you got molested.
Oh,
that's crazy.
fuck me. I just made the whole connection. This is about to get so depressing.
Yeah.
So he's saying, man, I'm going to bring up this fact. This is trauma from your own confessions. He's saying that he's confessed to being molested.
No, that's me. I'll take
None
this.
of this is true.
I'll take this.
He hasn't confessed to being molested.
Yep.
This is when your father left you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps and shit you're so obsessed with. Like, he's basically, not only is the angle horrific, let's say Kendrick was molested, and he's saying, that's why you think I'm a pedophile. Terrible angle, considering...
I don't like the angle, it's insane.
Not even in terms of... it's not a nice, like, not nice.
I think it's counterproductive.
Tasteless. I don't think it's like that. I'm saying in a bad angle in terms of, you must know the things that people think of you, Drake. Like the 17-year-old on stage, the Millie Bobby Brown. That's why he's calling you a pedophile. It's not because he was molested. What are you talking about? And then completely misunderstanding the song as well. He's done it twice, actually. There's another diss track. I think might be Push-Ups. He brings up Mr. Morale, and it's like, man, you really didn't hear the album. You don't realize Kendrick's mostly doing metaphors. Like, he thinks every lyric Kendrick says is his word. You know, like Kendrick, Kendrick does Sing About Me, and he's talking about the girl, and she's like, my titties bouncing while I'm... Yeah. He's like, wait, Kendrick has titties? Kendrick's got fat tits?
Kendrick's police officer?
Because Drake's full literal. Drake's never gone conceptual like that, has he?
No, I wouldn't
exactly.
Say
and Kendrick, that's all he does. He's like, oh, it's actually in the perspective of Tupac's ex or whatever. Kendrick's wild. He does whatever he wants. Or like 2 years later, he realized the verse was actually about this. Like, remember Kendrick's Damn album where he's got the guy yelling, whatever happens on earth stays on earth. Remember that? He would just keep yelling that throughout the album?
Yeah.
Whatever happens on earth stays. The guy who does that doesn't know what it means. He never asked Kendrick. He has no idea what that means. No one knows what the fuck that means. That probably means something to Kendrick that no one knows, right? Yeah. But Drake would see that and go, you think Earth is Earth? Like, you know what I mean? Drake just reads lyrics.
Yeah.
So I think he reads a line where it's like, molested. And he goes, Kendrick was molested.
It's a crazy take.
But not even that. Him completely getting that wrong and shit.
Yeah.
And then ending it on like, brother, that was some good exercise.
I would say,
it's
though, the
really
11-year-old girl is probably equally as awkward. In terms of just running with something that's just a weird place to go.
The 11-year-old thing, I don't know.
It's just a weird loss. It's a weird loss in terms of just like the direction the beats.
It's in a song.
Yeah, he just took a loss. Drake took a major loss. That's just like about he's not a good guy. I don't think Drake's a good guy.
Remember, in the 11-year-old daughter verse, Kendrick has things where he's like, I feel so bad for you and all the other kids that Drake's got that he hasn't claimed. So I think a part of this is, regardless of the 11-year-old specific, whatever that kid is, he's saying Drake's probably got all these seeds in the world, and he's only claimed the one that he was forced to claim by someone else.
Yeah.
Like Kendrick going to the angle of like, brother, let me raise your son for you, first verse. Second verse, let me tell your dad that he's just a piece of shit and that he actually should get more out of you because he's like your black card and all this stuff. And let me tell your mom, she shouldn't have even fucking had you, dude. You're the worst. Wear a condom, all this shit. And the third one, specific 11-year-old daughter aside, he's kind of saying, there's probably so many other motherfuckers. There's so much damage this guy has done that he just refuses to take the consequences for. So I'll do it. That's why I made Mr. Morale, he says. He's like, to let kids like you know, there is hope. Drake's not going to raise you. Drake's not going to do this for you. There are better people out there than your father.
But if you're not raising your own kids, that all goes down the toilet a little bit.
This is, again,
literally
all crazy hearsay.
This is where I've left being like,
Kendrick not raising his kids is the same as the 11-year-old. You got to agree with that.
No, it's not, because it hasn't been proven wrong.
Exactly. They've both not been proven wrong or right.
There's no 11-year-old. Where's the 11-year-old?
Where's the beat your wife? They're both just unfounded claims.
Not necessarily.
Kareem, where's the beat your wife?
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm not speaking English anymore.
I would say if there's an 11-year-old...
They're both unfounded claims. That's a fact.
not necessarily. One hasn't been denied, and one's like, where is this 11-year-old? Because we literally baited you into thinking there's an 11-year-old.
The bait's
versus
why? If he baited you, why wouldn't he do the whole? Why would he wait 2 days, let Kendrick release the biggest song of the year, and then do this? Like, why wouldn't you right after Mr. Because what Kendrick did move-wise, we haven't even talked about Family Matters and then dropping Mr. Morale, Meet the Graham straight away.
Because I saw it.
Do you agree that that's a crazy chess move and Kendrick was winning at that point?
I saw that as damage control for the whole 11-year-old angle.
Oh, so you're really for some reason believing Drake stuff and not Kendrick for some reason.
If Kendrick didn't
it's
release,
a very weird way to do this.
Not Like Us, it would have looked pretty bad if he went for that 11-year-old angle. He needed Not Like Us to be like, okay, this is that thing was.
No,
fell for the bait.
I took
Let's
Not
come
Like
out
Us.
with a club banger.
I took Not Like Us.
I saw that as quite actually cheap.
Not Like Us is his.
It was
is
cool,
him dancing on the
but it was him basically being like, okay, I'm going to go down your route, where I'm just going to make like a hit song. Almost, I saw it as a bit of a bad move. I'm not going to win the beef.
Not
on
Like
paper.
Us, dude. You're inverted. Like the response of everyone else, you had the inverted ones where you're like, I thought Drake was losing during the AI stuff. I thought Kendrick was winning during this stuff.
Literally.
You had all the inverted responses. It seems.
I see it in very different ways because I think I respect Kendrick so much that I saw him doing like a West Coast club banger is almost like cheap in a way.
Brother,
where if you want to keep it just hip hop, let's keep it hip hop a little bit. You're going up against a pop artist.
Exactly.
You
so let me
shouldn't
fucking
be there in general.
play his game.
Yeah, and I guess he's
and it was the only
forced
diss,
into
it
doing
was,
that because he
at
wasn't
that
winning
point,
with
that
the
was
earlier
the
track.
only criticism people had for Kendrick. It was the only thing they said. Well, he can't even make a big club one. What's this shit? We're not going to listen to this in a few years. What's this dumb fucking listen to this. This sucks. 3 hours later, he's like, I made this tonight. What do you think? And everyone's like, yeah, this is the best thing I've ever heard. That's when it's over. That's when Not Like Us came out. I think everyone kind of went, doesn't really matter what Drake responds with. It's kind of over, and I don't think anything else is going to happen. But he kind of has to respond, but let's see what he does. And then when he ended it, it was like, brother, you're not the one to end this. You're not the one. You're not allowed to say when this is over. It's kind of like a country starting a war and going, oh, let's wrap it up. And the other country's like, brother, I got all the ammunition in the world. Let's keep it going. You're like, no, just facts. No, I got to go to a vacation. That's what happened. You don't really instigate a war, and then you're the one who says, that was pretty good stuff. Unless the other guy goes, leave me alone, I'm done. Drake is meant to keep fucking going. He started this shit, bro. And the only thing between him going, no, you're following through in Tailor Made, and him going, I'm done, is one song. That's fear, bro. That shit doesn't happen unless you're losing.
One thing go on.
I literally just saw it completely different. I just saw the
I think
last
Drake's
song
bravado like works on you almost.
Oh no,
That's how it feels.
I'm looking at this completely without bias. And someone who almost doesn't even want Drake to win, but just from what I've seen,
didn't, so you should be happy.
What I've seen, and literally re-listening to the whole beat from start to finish, and I was like,
you're re-listening and you think Drake won?
Pardon?
Re-listening, you think Drake won?
Re-listening. And I was like three-quarters of the way.
Felt like watching a kid get bullied, dude. Re-listening, I was like, let him go. Let the kid breathe.
I was literally thinking, oh gosh, did I maybe have this all wrong? And by the time it finished, I was like, oh damn, Drake actually just maybe won this thing. This is kind of awkward.
And you thought Kendrick was winning until the heart?
I think Kendrick...
In the heart when he's wrong about him getting molested. So this is what happens in the heart.
Yeah.
Drake says, I'm not a sex offender for 3 minutes.
Yep.
Another minute is you got molested, which is untrue.
Yep.
And then a few seconds of the same thing, Dave Free and
beat
your wife.
Yep.
And then let's end this.
Yep.
So the song, after Kendrick's just played your chess move, 20 minutes later he's addressed your whole family, he's sat them down, he's destroyed your whole character, then he's made the West Coast banger calling you a pedophile and calling all your boys out, calling you a culture vulture, doing everything, destroying you. Your response is 3 minutes of I'm not a pedophile, 1 minute of you got molested, which isn't true, and then 2 minutes of let's finish this, and that's a win to you.
I saw Not Like Us as Kendrick winning this nicely.
Yes.
Literally, he won it nicely, and then Drake came out with the heart. And what it basically did was like, hey, by the way, don't forget about the moves I made. Don't let this guy's hit song distract you from the fact that this guy is a fake activist. He hasn't seen his kids in 6 months. He beats his wife. Everything he said is literally fake. I also thought...
But everything he said isn't fake. That's one thing we need to acknowledge.
I also thought the whole
said,
pedophile thing was crazy angle. I didn't think The Heart was actually even a good song. I just saw it as the song that won him the beef just... Literally. That's how I saw it. I was like, Not Like Us was a great tune that had Kendrick winning the beef. The Heart Part 6, I was like, okay, Drake, it's on you right now. let's just do a slam dunk. Are you going to come out with a bigger club banger?
You don't
no,
think-
he took a different
You
angle.
don't think Drake's
he
saying,
made
"Let's
a
end
pretty
this"?
average song that was like, hey, by the way, this, and this is the reason why I won the beef. And I'm like, if you really just sit down and listen to that song, you leave it thinking, oh, okay, well, technically this guy wins the beef.
If you don't know what's just happened, if you don't know that that's
No,
been,
if you've just listened to the earlier song,
if you
that's
don't,
Drake's
dude,
rebuttal.
there's no way you listen to
it
Meet the
doesn't blow
Grahams
it out of the
and
water.
Not Like Us, and then you listen to The Heart, and you go, that guy dealt with that. You don't think when he backs out at the end, you felt no defense mechanism? You felt no...
Not at all.
You felt that Drake is happy with the way that this went? This went exactly how Drake wanted it to?
No.
Okay, then
No.
why is he ending it?
And this is the thing
Why
as
is he
well,
ending it then?
when the beef
And
ended,
as you said,
Yeah.
Drake's up here right now, right? Like he's just winning.
just winning.
Why would Drake want to be just winning? Why wouldn't Drake want to fucking destroy this guy? He can, right?
And
He
that's
can
why
and
I
he
didn't
will.
like it. I didn't like
He
it.
can and
When
he
I-
will. So
when I
why is
heard-
he
when I
ending
heard the
on just
Heart-
a little win?
When I heard the Heart
Which
Part
he did, and he
6,
got fucking destroyed.
When I heard the Heart Part 6, I was ready to be like, okay, what's
Why
going to
would he
happen
end it?
here?
Why would he end it?
Is Drake going to come with something heavy? I
Of
left
course
it
he's
being
not.
like,
He ends it.
oh, this is kind of average, but just the facts are the facts. My
But
favorite
why
artist,
would
I can't
why would
look at
Drake
the
do
same.
that? Why would Drake end this if he started it by literally bullying Kendrick and be like, bro, this guy's
Yeah.
not even
Let me-
responding.
can I-
Oh,
This
and
guy
I don't,
sucks.
I don't
Go,
see it as a
go,
good
go.
move that he finished with the Heart. I think he
The
could have
white
gone
guy can
so
talk
much.
every 20 minutes on this podcast.
I saw it as basically Drake going soft. Pause. When he could have gone a lot harder. Pause.
Drake fans.
It was awkward. Again,
Big D in this video proof.
I liked Not Like Us. I was thinking, oh no, Kendrick's won this thing, and I was literally I was ready to stand up, being like, great job, you beat Drake.
Yeah.
You got me invested in this thing.
So-
Drake came back
He won.
and made me realize that, dang, I can't look at my favorite rapper the same anymore because he hits his wife. He hasn't seen his kids in
what
is
6
it?
months.
Yo,
He is
let
obsessed
Jackson
with
tell
white
it.
women. He doesn't really. He's a fake activist, and it's awkward. And I'm not really going to look at Kendrick the same. Drake, I never saw as anything. I looked at him like a scumbag.
This
who
is all.
hates-
This
who
is all
doesn't
your
take care of
personal
his kids.
opinion.
Well, this is my
you've-
personal opinion.
Like you've chosen to love Kendrick this much and not like Drake this much.
I
in
like
in
both
the
of
real
them.
world, they were both revered and on similar levels in terms of the big three. In terms of like there were three big guys.
I never saw that.
I know, but
I
the
never
world
saw
did.
that.
The world did,
And I don't understand that. I personally think
and now they don't.
people who see them as
Now
the
they
big
don't.
three don't really know hip
Now
hop.
the world sees kind of how you're seeing, how you like what you just said of like Kendrick's my favorite rapper and this and that, and Drake's kind of a nobody. That's how the world sees it now. Go.
Maybe, but Drake
Oh,
won
yeah.
the beef.
Let me interject.
Go,
Okay,
go.
Let's go.
You
We
did
gotta
kind of
wrap
cover
this
it,
up
but I
soon.
think like,
Unless you guys want to pay my fucking.
well, Karim,
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up in
you kind
5.
of did wrap it up, but like to summarize your argument,
Drake
at the end
lost.
of the day, you already saw Drake in a certain way.
Yes.
Drake has won this beef because he's discredited an artist that you love. He
Yes.
has dragged that guy down
Yeah.
to a place that he is already at.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And you love Drake regardless.
I actually agree with that, to be honest. Not in terms of if the allegations were true, but no part of me thinks any of this shit's true. I think it's all unfounded and people just say shit. There's no proof of any of
You
it.
know who I do feel bad for? J. Cole. He's got to move his album to next year.
No, dude,
one's
he's
listening
winning.
To that.
Everyone loves him right now.
No one's listening
J.
to
Cole
J.
hasn't
Cole's
released good
album.
music in years. It's really sad.
The fall
We
off
can't
good.
start coming
No,
to J.
what was
Cole.
his last
Huh?
album? The 7-minute drill.
So bad.
That was really bad. But what was before that? That had some really good
So
stuff.
bad.
The
He's had
Fall off
nothing
the-
good.
Something like that.
He's had nothing good.
Yes.
Literally
like
nothing
Pride is the
good.
Devil. What was that album on?
That's not a good album.
That's not a
either.
good song.
That's
What
one
was
of
that
his
album
worst.
on? Applying Pressure. Stuff like that. There's some.
Nah, J. Cole is
Bro.
really bad.
Run it up.
Release
Run it
it.
up.
No, that's KOD. KOD sucks. KOD
Yeah,
sucks.
yeah, J.
The one in
Cole
between
sucks,
all
yeah.
those. He's got an album with some really good
With the
stuff.
flames on
Yes,
the past
yes.
record. That's not a good album.
But it's got some really good songs.
Maybe it has some good songs.
It
but
does.
He hasn't
That's every J.
released
Cole album.
anything
Every J. Cole album is some good songs. Besides Born Sinner, classic. We agree on
and
that.
Forest Hills Drive.
That's got some rough
and
ones, man.
Sideline
Forest
Story.
Hills Drive has some
he
rough
has
songs.
like 3 classic albums. All
Forest
the
Hills Drive has
mixtapes
some
are
bad
also
songs.
goated as well. Literally.
But it's
they're
Yeah,
just
the
goated
mixtape's
mixtapes.
sick.
Goated mixtapes.
But a lot of them have bad songs and some amazing songs, right?
Yeah, but
But
they're
it's
goated
mixtape,
mixtapes as a
yeah.
whole.
And even his albums, besides Born Sinner, are pretty much
his last
all
3
a lot of
projects have
misses.
been forgettable.
Yes, yeah.
It's,
KOD and
it's
stuff are
projects.
rough, yeah.
But yeah, on the topic of at hand.
But all of his
yeah.
last projects, maybe not all, but they pretty much all have some really fucking good songs. That's what J. Cole does. He gives you an album of okay
He has good
stuff,
albums, usually. Forest Hills Drive was amazing.
but it's got some really weak shit.
It's a great album.
Its best stuff is good.
It's a great album.
That's a whole
it's gonna
front
be,
to back?
Yeah.
You're not skipping any
It's
of
going
it?
to be remembered as a
You're not
great
skipping
album.
any of it?
I think it's definitely got... Most albums have songs that are skippable.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? But it's a great album. It's
Yeah,
like
that's
a
true.
classic album.
I like that album.
It's literally a classic album. The last three he's released, no one's ever
You
thought
know we're
about
done.
since.
We're at J. Cole. We're at neutral
I know,
again.
but-
And Drake's lost.
All right,
Kendrick's happy.
Okay.
So the
Kian.
big three right now, I would say,
Yep.
is Kendrick, Cole,
Future.
Drake.
Oh.
Their future stuff is crazy. I can't believe he's in the conversation.
Yeah.
That's another podcast. I don't know
Yeah.
what's happening to hip hop, but like
Yeah.
I think it's Kendrick. I think Drake has almost maintained his position after all was said and done. When he apologized, it was like he's not even in the big three. Fucking everyone hates him. But when people saw the things Kendrick was doing to Drake, they were like, J. Cole's a smart, wise man. He's a businessman. He's a good man. And I think he sort of like stayed in the big three. And Drake, we'll see what he does. I kind of hope you guys are right and he can just stay in his pop stuff. But Drake is so scrutinized right now, and he's so looked at, and he's in such a tough spot. Whether what you think of Kendrick and what you think of Drake, because I now I'm starting to see why you think what you think, because you revere Kendrick so much, and you don't really see Drake. You see Drake how I see Drake. He's a pop rapper.
I love him. I
He's
like
whatever.
pop rap.
Kendrick's
I love
the
pop rap.
greatest, and if Kendrick's
the
done,
best rapper of all
Kendrick's
time.
done these things, that's horrific. How
Yeah.
could he? And it goes against everything that he stands
Yeah.
for. I actually agree with all that. But when you look at how the culture saw Kendrick was really only getting love. Like Miss Morale didn't do too well.
It was
numbers-wise.
probably his best rap album of all time.
Numbers-wise.
Numbers-wise,
it really
yeah.
didn't. I looked at it the other night, dude. Kendrick like really broke through with Good Kid, Mad City. Like some of the songs were massive. Tip and Butterfly again, all right and stuff. Damn was like fucking his biggest thing. Everyone was listening to Damn, not even hip hop fans. Everyone.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Morale, like the numbers are like 20 million and stuff on the YouTube
Right.
listens, whereas the other ones are like hundreds of millions. Like it's different. So he was really in the hip hop conversation for a while. Like just Kendrick heads and hip hop heads were like, I love Mr. Morale, this and that. No one's really talking about him. And now he's the guy, and Drake's like not the guy anymore. He might be to certain parties and stuff, but in hip hop right now, it's not a good look to say Drake's better than Kendrick, Drake's cool. And that's only happened because of what Kendrick did. But Cole is still Cole right now. I feel like people go, I like J. Cole, Born Sinner's awesome, he's the best. I don't think people have lost their respect for Cole like that.
I can't stand J. Cole now.
I gotta go downstairs.
Yeah, Drake got destroyed by Pusha T. Came out selling crazy. Everyone forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
very true.
And it's
I don't
probably
think
going to
Pusha
be
T
even
did
more
what Drake
so.
did what Kendrick did this time.
Pardon?
Like Pusha T did the whole son thing, which is a bad look, but what Kendrick's done in terms of telling the whole culture, look at this guy.
Yeah.
Take another look at this guy. Drake might, you're right, persevere, but the way he's put the mirror on Drake, this hasn't happened before. This specific thing of like you're using the culture and you're this and that, and you've got no one around you, and that didn't happen.
Drake in blackface
Drake
was
had
nuts.
but Drake had a lot of people on his side during the Pusha T thing.
Absolutely
Actually, that's actually a really good point.
To
Pusha-
find that photo,
Dude,
was
crazy,
way more damning
crazy.
to me because that's when I was like, I saw Drake down here and I was like, oh dang, he's literally
both of those.
just
This is
like
why I think Drake also
clown.
lost this. Both of these battles are Drake going, I'm done, and both of them going, really? I can keep going, and he goes, no, I'm done.
There wasn't one person in the world that thought Drake won that Pusha T battle. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that Drake won this. Not one person in the universe said that Drake won with Pusha T.
I haven't heard anyone say
and
Drake
I
won.
see this more and more on Twitter.
Tell us anything in the comments, you guys.
We are gonna.
We might have to do a part two.
Part two, dude. When
this has been
the
a
Not
great
Like
debate.
Us music video drops, we'll do part two.
This has been a great
gonna
debate,
drop.
guys. This has been a fantastic debate.
Yeah.
Kendrick versus Drake. Who will win? Only time will tell.
Thank you so much. Sorry
Hit
to
the
the
button,
Drake
hit the button,
fans.
hit the
He
button.
lost. He's a pedophile.